You'll get that on the 31st. You guys get the red carpet, velvet ropes, and this is the beer budget show. I was telling Josh, man, he's like, do we got to call in or you got video? I'm like, I'll get video. Watch this.
What do you guys have to offer?
I mean, I know, dude. Not much. On, man, who are you dudes,
That's
man?
why the beer taps are up there. And most of
a little pigeon back and forth with notes.
Yeah, most of those beers up there, we can't even afford to drink. So. Oh, good time.
Should be pretty good. Most everybody's rained out over here. We've had horrible, I mean, nothing like you guys. Bacosa, Lodi, Psych, are you checking in? What's up, Big Rob? Bacosa. Did you guys see that one?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, cool. All right. Making sure the chat and everything's running good. Oh, Mikey, here we go, man. We are just upgrade city over here at the Beer Budget BMX Show. I swear to God. You know what? Hey, we take one weekend off and look at what's going on.
Why do we take a weekend off? Oh, yeah.
Because we just BMX the whole weekend.
Bakersfield.
We were in Bakersfield.
Kofu.
We went to Kofu Park for a little freestyle jam with the Valley Biz Boys and Dan's Comp and everything. Perkins, what's up, Perkins? Kenny Peters, Applehead. Dude, hey, Teague, you dirty old effort. I swear to God.
No one likes him anyway.
God dang it. That guy's so dirty.
He's funny as shit, though.
He's like a porta potty without the blue tablets. I swear to God. That dude. He is something else. Oh, God. I gotta do it before he does because he'll make a short joke or some shit. You know, because Doug's like that, man.
Oh, my God. What's up, Kenny? Chris Wheeler, what's going on, buddy?
Wheeler got boss checking in. Dougie's laughing. He's that guy. Oh, hey, thank you guys, everybody tuning in. Hey, you know what? We went from one extreme to the next.
Poor Braden.
What?
Hey, thanks for the shout out, Chris, on the side hacks. I appreciate that.
You freaking commandeered the phone, huh? Oh man, Kirsten, God dang it. Oh man. So hey, we go from doing phone calls now we got video.
No.
Late breaking news over here at the beer. We got a lot of breaking news.
First time caller, long time listener, bro.
Caller 10. What do you got?
What do you need?
Sorry, taking 11.
What's up, Will France? How you doing, buddy?
Mr. France, Metro. Hey, how about Metro?
Metro put on a hell of a show last weekend.
Man, 138 motos, first state qualifier of the season over here in California. 40 motos for North versus South, and ended up in a tie. Laura just texted me before the show. A tie. North versus South. You got to be kidding me, man.
That's not a bad deal. At least it's not a.
Hey, I took second, baby.
I'm not going to lie, because back in the day when we had that race, it was SoCal usually winning it.
It was a biggie. There, there's Will. Oh, there's Laura. They're in separate rooms. That's it. Here we go.
We have a bunch of families like that. You know,
all we need.
How many we got? 5?
We got a lot. I bet Riley's watching on her phone somewhere. She's probably down at the track.
Mom and dad are on watching us on different.
In fact, I think Riley knows our guests in the chat.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Old Josh Robinson and Alissa Chartrand from Rum River out of Minnesota. Don't you know?
At least will be.
Yeah, Riley France for Black Widow. I swear she changes. I give her so much crap. I gave her crap last week too. I'm like, are you in Minnesota this week? What are you doing? California, Minnesota? What are you doing? She's like,
center, right?
Yeah, look, I'm just going wherever. I'm like, I know, I get it. I understand.
What's up, Daytona?
Randy, what's up, Randy?
Michelle, how you doing?
How's everybody doing, guys? We got the video screen. We got Rum River track operators Josh Robinson and Alissa Chartrand checking in, guys. Here we go. Rum River, Mikey.
Talk about someone doing it right. Everybody,
my goodness.
Zuniga, you're the perfect person to be watching this.
Zuniga, you better get your sticky pad ready for this shit. Glass is in shit.
This is a track that runs the shit the right way.
You got that right. Friggin' Mike Miller, the world's okayest announcer.
Oh no!
Checking in from you, Kaipa. Yes, sir. This is how the show goes, guys. There's going to be a lot of shit talking. Yeah. You guys are going to love it.
Half California, half Minnesota resident.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Hey, do what you got to do, right?
Paul Depew, East Moline. Oh, another awesome indoor checking in right there, baby.
What's up, rookie?
Mississippi Valley BMX starts next week. 21 days. Iowa Concrete. Bring the hairspray.
Coca-Cola.
Hell yes. You know that. That is what's going on right there. Holy Rum
John
River.
Rush, how you doing?
So, Alissa, Josh, how you guys doing today?
Good. Another busy day.
It's 1 degree. We're great.
You guys are checking in here at the Beer Budget BMX Show. Well,
what's up, Jelly?
While Berlin Harris is running the Big B Super Camp
in the snow.
There. This is how busy they are. It's like, hey, we're gonna podcast. We got Big B in the house. You know,
this tells you how good
Tyler McGuire's there in the house and everything.
This tells you how good they are. They're at home, and there's shit going on at the track, and they don't have to be there for. That's how you run a track when you have people you can count on.
Chris,
we have a good team. We have a really good team.
Exactly.
Yeah. Apparently,
out here that don't happen.
Well, you know what? Since we're on it, let's get into your guys' team.
Sure.
So Dan,
like how is this possible? How are you guys able to do the podcast thing? You got Berlin over there. I mean, granted, Berlin's been doing this stuff.
We gave him the keys. Yeah. He's fine. Told him
just gave him the key. He got like the golden buzzer from American Idol. It's like you're in.
We just hop on the cameras and check on them every now and then.
Yeah, you got to with that guy, especially with your guys' menu at the freaking cafeteria. I would.
That door's locked.
Because his help, they eat a lot.
What's up, Bunky?
Oh man, Brian Reeves, what's going on?
Give us. You guys were on the Real BMX Racing podcast last night with Everett and Shannon, and so which for a lot of our viewers probably haven't seen that podcast. It's on YouTube, guys. Real BMX Racing podcast with Everett and Shannon, and you guys gave pretty much a good basic rundown of the start and beginning because you guys came on board in like 2012, right?
What's up, Malia? Michael.
So we actually became track operators in 2020.
We were in the sport prior to that, obviously, but that's when we took over as track operators.
Yep, right before COVID hit the world.
Like a month before COVID hit.
We became track operators.
Ouch. Wow.
Super fun time to be running a BMX track in an indoor facility. So
running anything. What's up, Luke?
But no, we've been involved with the sport for a bit longer than that, and been track operators since 2020, and it's been a pretty crazy ride. You know, the Rum River runs pretty unique. You know, we got Alissa and I are track operators. We got 9 board members and a treasurer as far as our kind of core structured group, and a pool of about 60 volunteers to pull off our day-to-day operations. Any given day when we're running, we need about 22 people scheduled, like on a race day, to cover everything from registration, concessions, staging, track.
Audio, visual.
Yeah. Be up on the camera hill.
Your live feed is second to none, guys. Honestly, I got to give you guys the video person. Tip of the hat to them.
Yeah, I think we got 4 people that rotate for that position. You know, we're always trying to see what we can do to.
You guys rotate. You guys have it that good that you can rotate.
We schedule our volunteers like we're running a business. I mean, they put their availability in an app, and we release our schedule every few weeks, and that way we don't get burnt out. I mean, if you need 22 people to make an event happen, those same 22 people can't be there 6 nights a week. So we cycle through.
Wow. Yeah. Cause there's a lot of tracks out here that they think you just need to give blood for like 6 days in a row.
Yeah.
No, we don't do that.
You know, we run, what did we do last year? Like 105 races. And during the winter months, we're practicing twice a week. We're clinics 1 day a week. Like we're almost operating 7 days a week. So there's just no way, you're going to burn out if you try to do it all yourself. So we need a big group to pull everything off. And even the way we're structured with our board and stuff, every board member has a role. Samantha does all of our social media stuff and all the posts you see on our Facebook and Instagram and flyers around the building and stuff like that. Like that's kind of her niche. She does all the responses on Messenger and emails and all that kind of stuff. We got one person in charge of registration and kind of maintaining that department, one person just in charge of concessions, kind of dealing with ordering all the menu and
licensures and
all that. One person just in charge of track maintenance side of things and just kind of the upkeep on the building itself. One person that just works with like the community outreach side, working on bringing in partnerships with the different sponsors.
Our volunteer coordinator,
working on onboarding new volunteers.
Yeah.
Yep. Works on the schedule with the volunteers, all that kind of stuff. Everybody's kind of got their lanes. Our president, vice president, Bree, our secretary, she kind of does a lot with the scheduling of stuff and maintaining all our records and stuff like
lining
that.
up birthday parties and yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's.
Scott. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's
old school had to forgot the on-air sign,
Run.
There's a lot going on behind the scenes,
Rum River does an amazing job. It's so appreciated to be able to walk in the building and have it to be running
top notch
to be running top notch to get the riders on the track and focus. There you go.
Well, you guys had me at a volunteer coordinator.
We need it.
Hey, Kara.
I don't know. Why are you asking me? Dude?
Oh my God.
I'm the volunteer. I don't get to coordinate shit.
Wow.
And the other part, like while everybody on the board has their own specific lanes, like it's also being a part of the big picture, like we just got done with our big track rebuild and having that conversation about should we buy all new dirt for the building, as a group of people sitting down, having that discussion, everybody comes from a different background. Everybody has different real life jobs, and having discussions about those kinds of things, that's the part that I kind of weigh just as heavily as everybody doing their own specific roles as well, having everybody's input on doing those big picture things as well. So kind of makes us who we are.
Now, if you guys see, so you guys said you could see the chat.
Yeah. So there's there's one, Daniel. Yes.
Our if you guys see any questions, you guys feel free to answer it.
Yeah. There's a question about our volunteers, a set position. When a volunteer comes to us, a prospective volunteer comes to us, we ask them what their interests are. Like if they have no interest in serving food, we're not going to put them in concessions. If they want to be out on the track, we line them up with somebody and they go shadow somebody for, I think, 3 different events, like a couple practices and a race. They shadow and then now they can be in that type of a position. So
that's awesome.
We take them where their interest is and
then makes them want to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people like being out.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Some people like being out in the limelight. Some people like being behind the scenes, like some people like being back in the kitchen serving food. Like me personally, I don't want nothing to do with back
I'll
there.
serve hot dogs all day long. Right.
Yeah, like Doug Teague. We ain't putting Doug Teague in the snack bar. Then we know more snacks. I mean, so we put him on the starting hill, right?
Right. We put Doug's either parking RVs or he's running the starting hill.
But is that all they do, or do they move around? They get different positions within the track. One day they could be corner 1, they could be corner 3, they could be at the gates. Depends on what they've been trained in on.
Yeah, there's some people that they're trained everywhere in the building, and
that's awesome.
There's some people that one day they're the head official, the next day they're working gates, the next day they're flipping burgers in the kitchen.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, because there are those people out there that could do it all and don't mind doing it. They're there for the right reason.
Right.
Yep.
That's insane. That is. I mean, talk about being textbook guys. That's pretty awesome. I mean, especially of just being in it since 2020.
Volunteer coordinator
and going volunteer coordinator and having to deal with COVID. And here you are 4 years later, like running a mecca is pretty admirable, man. Like,
and to be fair, like,
we didn't change the world in 2020.
Yeah. The track, the track was a successful track as an outdoor track, prior to the building getting built. The building got built in 2015. Kevin Riedemann, was the track operator when the building got established. And when we took over in 2020, there was a decent foundation set there, and we've done things to try to help improve things. This last year, we built a huge rental cage for our rental fleet.
Partnered with
Haro, replaced all of our loaner bikes for brand new bikes. And when I say rental fleet, we have about 70 bikes in our rental fleet.
Damn it.
and there's a lot of nights where almost everyone's out.
That's awesome.
And it's same. We got fly helmets on the racks for all the loaners as well. And, you know, all that's in its own little cage now, so that, you know, when riders come in and they need to borrow stuff, it's all one shop, you know, little spot for everything. A lot of the helmets used to be in the registration office, and it was just too much to try to maintain, you know, so now it's its own staffed little area that.
So we continue to make improvements within the four walls.
But 70 bikes. No one has 70 bikes in the BMX track anymore.
What's up, Jerry? Jake Reeves? What's up, guys? Chase?
No, they rent the building, Daniel. It's $7,400 a month.
Now the building, when listening to with you guys with Everett and Shannon, the building was built over the track. The track was originally outside.
We just went right over the top.
In Minnesota.
In Minnesota, don't you know? And they put the building over the damn track.
For the first year, we still had grass growing inside.
Yeah, it was literally like in 2014.
You guys got hydroponics and shit too, huh?
We should.
2014, they ran the last state finals outside, and as soon as the race was done, started ripping down the fences to start building the building, and opened up as an indoor in March of 2015.
What's up, Silky?
And
now, so it was when they built the building, it was for racing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. That I know of, we're the only building that's a fully enclosed track built specifically for BMX.
Wow.
All the rest of the indoors around the country that are a full enclosed building are a repurposed building for something.
Right. Yeah. Just like East Moline. I mean, it's a warehouse that they put their own wooden jumps in. It works and they do a great job of it, but it's one of those things like you don't ever hear that. It was built just for racing.
Mike Miller's coming in hot, man. How's the district moms out there?
There's only one way to find out, Mike.
I gotta say, see, come on, Miller. Let's load up the bus. Let's get freaking Hollywood Sprinter van. Load that son of a bitch.
Dude,
up.
They only have a month of summer, if that. So
a lot of people chiming in. What's your average moto count?
30 to 70.
30
to 70.
Man.
Depending on the time of the year. Yep. We're a little busier in the winter, a little lighter in the summer.
But that's pretty damn good, man.
So how do we facilitate that? So good question. So the city itself owns the building. We have a 40-year lease agreement with the building.
40 years.
And
40 years, right?
I love it.
We don't get anything for free. The only thing we get for free from the city is the one water tap that we water the track with. We don't have to pay for the water that comes out of that hose. Everything else, like we pay for. We pay for the lease on the building. We pay for our utilities.
Our monster heat bill.
Yeah. And we need to bring in about $450,000 a year just to break even. And it's happening. You know, we've been in the black every year, plus doing some improvements to the building along the way. So
and putting money away.
Yeah, putting money aside because the lease keeps going up. Our lease goes up about 2.5% a year. So we're planning for that future, and probably at some point we will buy the building from the city. Currently, our lease is $7,400 a month just for our lease on the building. Then on top of that, we got all the utilities and everything else. So,
wow, that is crazy. Wow. $500,000 business for BMX.
Run by volunteers. That's what I like to tell people. Run by volunteers.
Yeah, every one of us have full real-time jobs, and we. I just seen
one because this is how crazy this is. You know, you need to bring in $400K to break even. Okay, we're big mountain bike fans over here. We're downhill. One team going into this coming year is a 3-rider team that just got funded $400K for their freaking World Cup season for 3 riders.
3 riders.
This is so in 1 week, I've just seen $800K just go like that, Mike.
Mark, it's because of nationals.
Wow. And there's 9 other tracks in Minnesota.
Yeah. So one of the things that we're really blessed with, Minnesota BMX scene is huge. When you look at California, Arizona, Texas, Florida, Minnesota, we're in the same powerhouse listing as those other southern states that can run year round. And really our facility is a good reason for that. the other big reason for it is during the summer months, we got 9 other awesome outdoor tracks for our riders to go ride at.
That's what
and this time of year, we got riders from North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan coming in every weekend because their local tracks are closed.
Yeah. Right.
And so we get hit up by not only all the local riders in Minnesota, but the surrounding states all winter long. Then we come to the summer months, and now all of a sudden everybody wants to hit up all these outdoor tracks. And Minnesota, we run our state series during the summer. So beginning of June, we kick it off. The end of August, we hit state finals. We hit all 10 qualifiers plus the finals during that time. And so it's every weekend there's a qualifier. Everybody's racing locals during the week. It's crazy, you know, and during that time, we're still racing 2 days a week during the weekdays.
During the week, yeah.
And we're still pulling, 30, 40 motos during the summer months. But during the winter,
which seems quiet. It's weird.
Yeah.
Right. What's up, Gashango?
Yeah, but still, I mean, you're getting 10 races in 2.5 months, or 70 days, basically. You get all your races.
Yeah, what is it? You have to hit 5 because there's 10.
Right. Yeah, I see your guys' schedule.
We need to move, Rick.
Your state. Yeah. Now this is we got 31 state races here in California, and you guys got it dialed in here. There's Crow River, River Valley, Green Lake, Buffalo Creek, Pine View, Faribault, Lakes area, and I-94.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like looking at the map, I took it off your guys' Facebook with the schedule and stuff. Now, how close is the nearest track to where you guys are at?
Crow River is about 45 minutes away. Really, from our track, you can get to everybody probably within 2.5 hours. We're kind of centered
all the tracks.
Yeah, from our track.
Yeah,
awesome.
The furthest track to the furthest track in Minnesota is maybe 4.5 hours, maybe 5 hours.
Minnesota's a little bit smaller than California.
It takes,
but no, that's awesome.
I mean, 6 hours, like actually 8 hours every way, either way to get to the furthest tracks for us, at least.
Yeah,
my nephew he just went to San Diego.
Insane.
He went to San Diego this morning. He left for San Diego to go race with some friends of mine. And it takes 10.5 hours to get to 10 hours to get to San Diego.
What's up, Jessica?
We can be to Grands from here.
Yeah.
Oh, rub it in. Sure, fine, whatever.
Yeah, no kidding.
It takes us 28 at least.
So is your guys' state series kind of set up different than most of the other
absolutely
BMX tracks? Like kind of like how Florida's is, or like
so Minnesota is unique in that 2 things. One, all of us track operators get on a collective phone call together and we schedule our state series as a group.
Really? That works for you guys?
Absolutely. We promote amongst each other really well.
That's awesome.
A lot of the tracks that are kind of close to each other, they'll try to partner up on a weekend where one will go Saturday, one will go Sunday, so that people can get a hotel and stay close by each other,
or camp at one place. And
we always, whoever gets awarded a Gold Cup gets their own weekend, so that they can do like Gold Cup Saturday, state qualifier Sunday.
Right.
And then we kind of, as a group,
chat, it says that shit would never happen in SoCal. See, we're not lying. Okay,
but it works. The second thing that we do, Rum River Bmx, we finished #1 track in the country this last year.
Awesome.
We're always going to be the #1 track in the state.
And you don't like podcasts.
Now how is it? Like, okay, now just because being from California and with all the other tracks and states that we talk to and everything else, like, how is it just the population that's by you guys, or is it just because like the other tracks don't have the indoor stuff and they got to be shut down?
They're not open year round.
We're a town of 6,000 people. It's not that we're this metropolis that can pull massive rider base. It's
Tontos and Tom.
It's a lot of it with the programs we run, the fact that we run year round. But even that, I look at the numbers, like I'm a big numbers guy.
Ridiculous numbers guy.
So I look at the numbers, looking at us starting at 0 on June 1st when all the other tracks are running too. And just in a fair playing field, we still finished the #1 track, just looking at June to October when the other tracks can run too.
Okay.
But since we're always running the state finals, we work together with the other tracks and we profit share our state finals. So
You hear this shit that these guys are doing?
I'm listening, bro. I'm just
taking notes. Are you taking notes?
The Friday,
you
the
have no
Saturday
idea.
pre-race, we take those as our own events.
We're going to be hiding in Riley Francis' suitcases here when she goes back. Okay,
I'm sure Dan Isaacs will welcome
I'm
you.
bringing the goddamn laptop with me.
I'm guessing you're the Rain Man. Yes, I saw that come up here. I'm like, okay, Tommy, I'm gonna get a box of toothpicks next week. Get online. I'm gonna drop them. I want to know how many they're in it. So,
the actual state finals, like we ask every track to bring in 2 volunteers to work state finals, and every track in Minnesota, whatever they bring for riders to the finals, they get that percentage of the profits of the event. After we take out the cost of trophies, take out the cost of porta potties, whatever it is.
What?
So, we break it down to per rider. A rider is worth X amount of dollars.
Oh, wow.
So that way, if you promote state finals to your local track and you get all your locals to come up and race, you're going to get a bigger check going back home to your track. And
if we didn't do anything like that, these other tracks, they wouldn't walk away with anything, So.
Right.
And we have, a Minnesota State Series committee that helps with kind of facilitating the state races for all the tracks. We're lucky with the way we operate that we run year round. We have a nice volunteer base, but some of these tracks, they start up again every year at the beginning of spring and they're kind of starting over from scratch. And some of them, they're lucky to have 2 or 3 volunteers to just run on a local single point day. So then they go to run like their state qualifier. It's hard to have enough volunteers. So the Minnesota State Series committee was kind of formed to help.
State Series committee, volunteer coordinator. Are you getting this shit right now?
I'm listening. I mean, yeah, we need
You look stressed out, bro. Are you?
Well,
right?
yeah, because there's no way.
The chat room is. You guys can see it. The chat room's going crazy.
We don't. There's
committee.
There's no way that shit happens.
What the fuck is a committee?
Dude, you guys are so cutting edge.
We got judge, jury, and executioner.
We're supposed to be the top of the crop in California. All the good shit, all the top of the line shit, everything.
Where's the porta potty committee, Miller? Come on, Miller. What the hell?
All the AI stuff. And no, Minnesota's got their shit figured out. I mean, unreal.
Because Jesse the Body Ventura is from Minnesota.
You're damn right he is.
Yeah.
You're damn right he is.
Yeah. I got time to bleed.
Oh, I mean, you know what? There's no committees out here. It's a committee about make more money for our track, screw everybody else.
We do a lot to work together. Like even in the fall, we partner up with Crow River. We do the 2 River Classic. It's
like a double header.
2 weekends, double header. You race Saturday, Sunday, start at Rum, go out to Crow, back-to-back races, 2 weekends.
8 races.
Yep.
Yeah.
Best 6 scores count. And we do cool prizes like
more
the champion
swag,
for each group gets a poster of their rider, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys all get along. You guys work
you have
together.
to.
But we have to.
Well,
I feel like we have to.
The thing that tracks need to understand,
like
the thing that tracks need to understand, if every track is more successful, it makes your program more successful.
Exactly.
Thanks, Jason. I appreciate it.
If our track gets more riders, their tracks will get more riders during the summer months. If their tracks grow, our track's going to get more riders during the winter months when their tracks close.
Right.
If their riders come to us during the winter months, they're going to stay engaged in the sport. So then next summer when they open back up, they're still going to be riding.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, it's a win-win for everybody.
And it doesn't matter with your indoor or outdoor. I mean, it's just out here it's all outdoor, but it's the same thing. It should be the same thing.
It should be the same thing.
Yeah. They get engaged at your track. Well, where else can I go ride my bike?
What's up, Wolski?
Let's go to all of them. That's basically what for everybody who comes into the sport. That's pretty much what it comes down to. You don't stay in your little local town and race and not go anywhere else usually. And that's just a financial issue. I mean, but if it's not a financial issue, you're gonna expand and go to the tracks. And if everybody gives you the same feel, the same good vibe, I mean, you're gonna keep going back to all of them.
Right.
But yeah, you guys have got it figured out. I mean, that is so cool.
That's
I
insane.
hear it all the time from other states that people don't promote each other's
They don't want to
races.
share their secret.
Somebody will be on the mic and say like, "Oh, you can't talk about so and so state qualifier. Like, we don't promote that at our track." It's like, why?
Wrong
like,
answer.
we want all our riders to go to all the state races. Like,
he's bad about it. He gets in trouble for it all the time. He announces.
I announce it. I mean, a
And
lot of people don't even like our damn show.
Yeah, well,
So-
USA BMX doesn't really care for it too much, I'm sure. But but all in all, we have a good following. But yeah, he promotes everybody. I don't care who you are. We don't even go to our local track to race, but he'll still send people out there.
Sure.
I did start an NBL chant at a state race last year.
You did.
Okay, down in Fresno.
That was hilarious.
Hey, Debbie.
what up, Debbie?
Hey, Debbie.
Hey, Debbie.
Where's Alissa at? How come Alissa isn't in here?
Yeah, you'd think she'd be freaking pumping up the hometown.
Oh man. That's BS. Where's Post at? I mean, Willoughby, whatever.
She's probably helping Lauren Reynolds look for her 2 bikes that got boosted out of her house.
That's right.
No.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. Lauren Reynolds got both her bikes boosted out of her house.
Wow.
Oh man.
I gotta give a shout out to Lauren. She so we got a women in sports event going on in February, and we did it last year. We had a huge turnout.
168 women showed up.
What?
And
Good Christ.
we're doing it again this year. And I seen Lauren down at the Florida National, and I'm like, "Hey, any chance you'd donate a autographed jersey for our event?" And she's like, "Yeah, tell me what address." And she shipped me out a jersey. So shout out Lauren for sending that out. I've been reaching out to a bunch of other girl pros and stuff. So
Miss Kitty's coming to
Yep,
it.
Miss
Miss
Kitty's
Kitty's coming
coming
up
up.
this year.
Hell yeah.
Miss Kitty's got it
Kitty.
going on, man. I tell you what, she brings the posse with her.
I asked Miss Kitty if she'd donate an autographed jersey too, because I tell you what, a lot of our gals would rather have an autographed Miss Kitty
Careful,
jersey
Josh, careful.
than a lot of other people. Like,
There you go.
That's
Other
only-
people.
I'll take the other ones. I'll take the ones that are left over.
Hey,
but
Miss Kitty is something
she's
else.
amazing.
Oh yeah, she is. She
That's
was hanging out at
awesome.
the Dan's Comp tent all freaking weekend at Grants, man. She's cool.
I mean, she has nothing to hide, and she's proud of what she's doing, and my God, she brings women into the sport.
Yes, she does.
That is so. What's up, Justin Tompkins?
So, got ATB, all things BMX, the head hierarchy, JT in the chat. There we go. He's getting warmed up for the 31st, man. We're kicking it up.
We don't need to know all
this
that
is
stuff,
great.
Justin. We don't need to know none of that pantless stuff.
Well, I mean, Hollywood had freaking Tommy Bracken's taking a shower over there down at freaking Dirty Knobs.
That's his brother, though, so it doesn't matter. That if your track wasn't the number one track, would all of the tracks still get along as well?
I would, right? You would hope so. That's
Now,
always
do the other tracks have are they able to congregate with you guys and put on like another I'm like looking at all these flyers with the Fire and Ice series, this Strider thing you guys got going on, and all these other things. Now, do those other tracks put on
similar
events and stuff like that too?
Yeah, like so 4 of the other tracks in the state did the Full Tilt Diamond Series this year. It was Pine View, Green
That's
Lake.
what it was. That's the one I couldn't think of, was the Diamond Series.
Oh, we just had it. We just
Pine View,
it.
Green Lake,
Yes.
Spicer, and Crow River.
There you go.
Did the Diamond Series, where kind of the same as like our 2 River Classic, but it was 4 tracks that worked together to do that series. 3 of the southern tracks did a little weekend,
Tri-State.
2 days series at the end of last year. So yeah, I mean,
I
it's
think
what it's
other
about.
tracks are getting a little more creative too with what they're doing. And
if I remember right, when I was reading off that flyer for the Diamond Series, you guys had some serious payouts going to like
They did for that one.
everybody,
yeah,
like novices, inners,
non-profit paying out.
the little AMs, the pro AMs. Like there was money being tossed around like nobody's business over there.
We
get people
yeah.
to show up.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, which is, you bring that up, but last week in Bakersfield for the state qualifier, they had a north versus south, and the winners of each class at the end of the night got a paycheck.
Yeah.
I mean, God, for making $150.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to go, start a new business on $150, but you don't usually get nothing.
You wouldn't throw $150 away in the garbage.
No,
right,
but I mean, usually you get nothing but a plaque or a trophy or whatever. We don't get paid anymore. And this, I mean, we're talking about kids all the way up to the old guys, like $146, I think the winners were getting.
Yeah, I think
which was awesome.
Little Colton walked away with like $80, man.
Yeah.
He's
8-year-old walked $80.
What kid wouldn't want that?
Yeah, we do a
lot of candy.
We do a pro-am party at the end of the year every year, kind of our last big Saturday race, our last big Sunday race of the year, where it's kind of a junior pro-am, a middle-aged pro-am, and a senior pro-am. And I think last year we threw a $5,000 starting purse plus the entry fees for the day. And
you get a whole shot sponsor. And
there were some kids that I'll never forget. Steve Tyson told his kids, he's like, whatever you guys make, I'll match it. 2 years ago,
because he had no idea how much money were in these envelopes.
Whatever you guys make, I'll match it. And all of a sudden, an envelope for like
there goes the water getting shut off.
Having no idea that that's what he's got to match, you know. So
ouch, that's brutal.
Holy
smokes. Water got shut off, car got repoed, whatever, you know. Get it for work, your car's gone.
I mean, yeah.
What happened?
You got heck. So like this week.
That's so awesome.
On starting off on Tuesday, you know, here you guys are on the podcast. Tuesday was bring a friend practice. Thursday was practice night. Today started off super camp. Like you said, going into tomorrow, super camp and race for life. Sunday, super camp and starting off the fire and ice race day. You know, you got a double going on tomorrow, a double going on Sunday. I mean, and that's just this week.
Yep.
I'll just tell you that bring a friend night. If you want to grow your numbers, it's huge.
Really?
The promotion is if you bring a new rider that's never been to the track before, that rider and you will practice for free that night, as long as they've never been there before. And there's no way that we can physically get into, you know, every mailbox in the 7, you know,
counties,
metro area that, you know, little Jimmy goes to school and invites his friends. Well, now his friend's coming, and it's just kind of a trickle down.
Well, and the cool part is you're bringing someone new out, and the person that's there with them is excited to show off the sport. So this new kid's there with somebody that already knows it.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a win-win. Like they're both trying out the sport, and the number of times where that new kid's trying it out that day, next week he comes, gets a membership, and he's bringing a friend.
Right.
Like it just explodes. I think last year we finished with 539 one-day trials, you know.
Wow.
But that's what you need to grow the sport.
That is
what the hell is that?
God, we're so far behind the power curve
out
here.
All these goddamn numbers, dude. They keep talking about.
I have no idea. We don't see those out here.
But I tell you what, I'm getting ready to reclass to Strider because they got this rain or shine, the balance bike.
Oh, you'll fit on one.
A balance bike race series.
Yeah, you'll fit on one. So why not? Go ahead.
How many did we have last year? We had like one day. I think we had. How many did in the series? Was it 70?
Yeah, there was over 70 unique Striders that did it.
Oh yeah, Nick Valencia, we on the show, son. Get in that Tesla. Get your ass over here.
So the Rain or Shine series. So here's some backstory on Strider for me.
Oh God, here we go. Here we go.
Again, I'm a numbers guy, and I track our points month over month, year over year, and we've been the number one track in the country a couple of years, and like 4 or 5 years ago, we were like number 1 or 2 in almost every category except balance bike. Balance bike, we were like number 21 in the country.
It killed him. It killed him.
And I'm like,
it's personal now.
This is BS. Like, we need to grow our balance bike, you know? And so it's like, what can we do? And so we started doing like some things in the parades. We started doing some flyers in the daycares, started doing some things to make balance bike cool. Started doing this race down with our city Jubilee days where we do a Striders in the Street event.
Which is really fun.
And getting Striders to be bigger. Well, we don't include Striders with our Fire and Ice series because we're hoping they're not striding for an entire year.
Right.
And so we started doing this Rain or Shine series where anybody that's just on Strider, you've never done a pedal bike race at all, winner of the series is walking away with a micro mini. And that's why I'm like, dude, I'm getting ready to reclass and take the yeah. So I think last year we finished up the year with 152 balance bike memberships, And, you know, at our track, we have our own little dedicated Strider section.
We just got a Strider gate.
Yep. Now we got a Strider gate. So the riders start from the Strider gate. They got a light tree, you know, it runs
barrel
on the
gate. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
So
a barrel gate,
a goddamn barrel gate.
Striders.
It's a barrel gate,
dude. I built a Strider track at our track inside of our regular track, and the city wanted to shut us down. Literally shut us down because I built jumps inside in the
between the
straightaways for the Striders to ride. They wanted to shut us down, so they made us take all the trees that we planted out to compensate for it. It was ridiculous, but yeah, they wanted to shut us down because I put a Strider track in. Yeah, and they got a barrel gate.
They give it a barrel.
What the hell?
They're giving away a micro mini,
right?
I mean, sponsored by Full Tilt. And second place, talk about giving more money. Second place gets a $200 gift card. Third place gets a $100 gift card to Full Tilt.
Hopefully they'll go buy themselves a bike, right?
It's $50 to Full Tilt.
That's you know, you're halfway to a brand new bike with $200.
Yeah.
They went to the daycare to promote the Striders. Nobody.
Well, then what we always shoot for after that series is done, then we'll do some clinics that are new to pedals.
New to pedals.
To try to get these Strider riders onto their pedal bikes.
So a night just for them.
So you're where all the 3-year-olds come from at a national.
Absolutely.
That's freaking the best. Oh, I love it. That's so awesome.
But here's the thing, like when we do our Strider series, like we actually run, like when we have 2-3 racks of 3-year-old Striders, we actually run them through their semis and everything else. Like during that,
like a regular race.
During that series last year, we had quarters one day for the 3-year-olds.
So it's not a one lap race for the kids.
That's fine. Quarters, dude.
That's crazy.
And everybody gets a freezy at the end of the race too. I think sometimes those kids are more excited about the freezy pop.
Where's the adult
can I trade that in for
the adult freezies? Holy shit!
Can I trade that in for a Cold Stone scoop?
Right.
But I mean, my nephew, I raised my nephew. He's 13 right now, but he started on a Strider, and that's kind of why I built a Strider track. But it's like watching him go from there to where he is now, 13 expert. Wow, you know what?
The whole progression,
right? Because my son didn't start till he was like 12, so he missed all that little stuff, which was great for me because it saved me a lot of money on minis, juniors, experts, expert XL.
Hey, Rachel.
We went right to a pro.
Hey, Rachel. Hey, girl.
So, but watch my nephew go from Striders at 2.5, all the way to where he's at right now. It's pretty cool.
Like, share, subscribe, Rachel. No, I'm just. Oh man, hey. Just want to take a second to say what's up to everybody in the chat room, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Appreciate everybody. We got the track for those of you just tuning in. We have Josh and Alissa from Rum River out in Minnesota. They're giving us the lowdown on everything Minnesota BMX. Insane. How's the show going for you, Mikey?
It's I'm writing shit down, bro.
Man, I could tell I already threw you an extra pen.
Yes, yes. Because I've been trying to get a track. I'm waiting on a guy who wants one, but I'm definitely taking notes because there are definitely better ways to do it. I mean, I ran everything but the signups and the paperwork for 11 years and enjoyed it. I did all the maintenance for the track basically, and I enjoyed it. And I loved watching the kids come and race. And
Hart, what's up, Hart?
And it was a good time, but I really would like to do something a little bit different, something like what you guys are doing, because you guys are going way above and beyond anything anybody out here does.
Where's that?
It's fun. It's fun. Like this isn't something that we dread. We don't dread day in and day out or the whatnot, but
I don't need that.
I get excited to walk in that building.
Well, what's up, Pavey? Well, yeah. So the big thing is the freezies. All right. So you guys got the ultimate ice cream menu. Okay. For those of you guys tuning in, you guys have a cafeteria.
Basically, they're like a restaurant.
Yeah. It like fudge bars, $2, ice cream candy bars, $2, drumstick, $2, push-ups, $1, bomb pop. A missile pop is 50 goddamn cents.
I don't care. Cold Stone ice cream is $5, bro. I don't care about anything
$2.
else. Cold Stone's $5. I'm in.
I'm in. Strawberry bar, $1.50.
I don't care.
We joke around that we're not charging like what the Viking Stadium charges. We want people to be able to come and have fun
We can't even get a water for $3.
But and the nice thing is we're not paying the people that are working in there money, so we don't have to charge an exorbitant amount of for a drumstick or whatnot. But we like to keep it affordable. We like to change it up. Danielle does a great job putting out a new menu every week.
Is that a menu? She's the menu coordinator because I'm looking at.
She is our concessions coordinator.
Pulled pork sandwich $6. Pulled pork nachos $6. A bacon burger $6. Pretzel bites $3.
Right up his alley.
A chicken bacon wrap is $5. Buffalo chicken bacon ranch wrap $5. The cold
he doesn't have no ice cream. All he wants to do is eat.
Cotton candy, a giant freeze.
Making me hungry.
Yogurt.
You and me both. I haven't eaten in 2 days. These guys are over here running on.
But this would make you want to volunteer there because when you're done, you don't got to go worry about. Oh, I gotta get good. We gotta get dinner on the way home.
Even the people who are racing. I gotta cook. That's what he was talking about.
I'll let you in on a little secret. If you volunteer, you don't pay those prices either.
Well, you know what? I'm moving. No, I'm not moving. It's too cold back there for me.
Hey, but I could video you in now.
There you go.
All right, you move. I'll stay here. Okay, I'll let you know what's going on here. You go to Minnesota. And I lived in Germany for 2.5 years. I froze my ass off. I'm good.
Man,
I am good on that whole snow thing. But
Douglas, there's plenty of Packers fans here in Minnesota.
Doug's gone. He's packing up Killer Kenny. There you go. Hey, you guys would have a hell of a girl if freaking Teague moved out there.
Yeah,
his daughter's on fire.
Oh, she's just an animal, bro. She's so legit.
I mean, yeah, dude.
Like 11,
but
11 or 12, right?
Killer Kenny?
Yeah.
Never ask a woman her age.
No, she's I don't care if she's younger than Daniel.
I don't care if she's 11 or not.
She's younger than Daniel, so I mean,
we got some fast girls here that she'd have to. Yep. They have
Gemma.
We got Gemma Tollefson. Little JT.
Well, dig yourself out, Ricky. Go do sprints. You need it.
This is an insane freaking menu, man. The
whole. The menu is the
lowest. Our desk hasn't been this busy since God knows when. Like honestly,
this menu is the least impressive thing on the table because of the fact that everything else is so stellar that shit that we don't see out here because no one wants to put that kind of time in.
So you guys talked about the Diamond Series. You got the Northland Fire and Ice that is underway now.
Yeah.
And then coming up, you have the Governor's Cup
coming up,
with
twice a month, every month.
I mean,
Governor's Cup is
a new event to us this year. That's that's been my baby that I wanted to bring on board this year.
Right.
And it's kind of the response to USA BMX did away with the President's Cup. And I always kind of wanted to figure out a way to do it locally. And so we actually took out an ad in Pull Magazine.
Page 18
in Pull Magazine.
Page 18 has the rule book.
And she don't like podcasts. She don't like public speaking, right? I'm not buying it. But I'm sorry.
Doing a hell of a job.
Yes, exactly.
We're running in February. It's a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's February 16th to 18th. It's single point race fees. You race whether it's open, cruiser, class, pro-am. We're doing team sheets as well. Your cumulative score for the 3 days, we're handing out 97 cups at the end of the weekend. We got special events.
Like DeSoto with Chris Allen when he had the belt series. That's freaking amazing.
3 days and you get a cup.
Yep.
And who hasn't anymore? No one gets. I had one from when I was 7. I finally got rid of it a few years ago, but no one gives out cups anymore. The Gold Cup does, but they're not. It's not the same.
No, they're legit cups. They're nice big metal cups and getting a little engraved plaque on them. For what class you're in, and I'm hoping to make it an annual event. The nice thing is that particular weekend is a holiday weekend, so kids should have a day off school there to help facilitate getting out there.
Right.
We're blasting social media kind of on the 5-state area to try to get the word out for the event. Hoping people come into town. You can't
beat it. Single point race entry fees on guaranteed big weekend.
So now
competition.
With everything we've covered so far, and we're like nowhere near done. And you guys already done one podcast. You're on today. You guys got ATB coming up, which there's still plenty for them to go. You could probably
we want it all.
You could probably do 2 or 3 more podcasts even after freaking Justin and crew on the 31st. Now for your Governor's Cup, so here's a segue into something that I heard on the show last night. For your Governor's Cup, can you be from out of state? Like say, hey, absolutely. I got some vacation time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We want that.
You guys have are you sitting down? Are you ready for this? You guys got something special going on with one of your local hotels or something, correct?
Yeah. So our local hotel right in town, the Best Western, if you drop the name Rum River BMX when you go to book, they'll give you a 10% discount.
And it's not even an expensive hotel to begin with.
Get out of a state of save on goddamn local, bud. Are you shitting me? Hey, thank you guys for letting us be on your show. Appreciate it. Yeah.
This is
great.
This is awesome.
Who's learning here, them or us?
Dude,
I think it's us.
And to be fair, when that hotel looked at building in town, we were a big reason why it happened. There's some wedding venues, there's a rodeo grounds in town, there's some things that help attract the area, but really we can put heads in beds on a weekly basis where a lot of those other venues are kind of hit and miss when things come and go, and they see people. We got some people from Wisconsin that are here every single weekend because their kids want track time. They know the front counter people at the hotel by first name. They almost get the same hotel room every time they come.
We just picked up a couple riders that live in Wisconsin. They live here now, but the mom and dad are from Wisconsin.
Sure.
And they're there right now. So unfortunately, I know they didn't take their bikes because they're part of them.
They can borrow some of ours.
There you go. You know what?
You got 70 to choose from.
Yeah. He's going to be there till the 22nd. I'll have to give him a call when we get off the show and let him know. But that's God, a hotel that gives you 10% off at a local race, dude. You don't even get what is a stay and save code for USA BMX? How much is it? 10%? Is it that much?
I don't even know, dude.
Or
I don't want to say, but I think sometimes it's more expensive to stay there.
I think Mr. Johnson, what's up there, Brian?
On your signups, you don't save on the hotel, you save on your signup.
Yeah,
your sign up. Yeah.
That much of a bargain. Local.
I'm looking at the Governor's Cup. They got trophy team, bike shop factory team, men's program, women's program. They got the balance bikes, all the cruisers.
Did we mention we have full tilt bike shop in the arena?
I would say you got full tilt, a full blown.
So you heard of them before?
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Their stores, their shop is in our building.
Yeah.
Really?
That guy.
Yeah, they got a bigger setup than what they do at the Nationals, set up full time in the building.
Jimmy Buchanan, they got 6 titles in a row.
I almost feel bad for you guys. Almost. Maybe not quite, but yeah. Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, this Governor's Cup is just insane.
This whole thing is insane because you know what?
But you're going, okay, so now you're going, okay, it's single points racing days, right? Okay, so it's $12 for open and balance bikes. It's $17 for class and cruiser. Okay. So like I'm going to use for here in California. All right. Most of our locals, they're $12 for your local, $14 for your local, depending on this, that, scores, timing, whatever the case may be. If we had a local here that charged $17 for a single points, it'd be freaking anarchy out here.
Now to be fair,
$17, but I would pay $25 to go to your facility because of what you guys offer and have.
But that's a 3-day series, though.
Now to be fair, that's our winter pricing.
17
cheaper in the summer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you got to pay to heat the building.
Yeah. We're paying $7,000 a month heating bills right now.
I'm just saying, I would pay $25.
Well,
so $5 cheaper.
Yeah,
$5 cheaper in the summer.
During the summer months, we drop down, so it's $12 for a single point race, and then $7 for practice,
and which is totally legit.
Opens.
See, Nick even said $17 for a local out here, you'd get stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to pay the bills. Like I said, you know, the heat ain't gonna pay itself.
No, exactly. And that's the thing though. Like that's where I'm like, dude, I would gladly pay 25. I don't give a shit, dude.
And you're warm. You're riding your bike. It doesn't get any better now.
Got the menu.
Not gonna rain on you.
Yeah, you get to eat really good before you leave. So you don't have to stop at McDonald's, which is always a really, really good thing. I hate McDonald's.
The Governor's Cup.
You'll wait in a really long line here at McDonald's.
The kids all love it though.
Coming at you, the Governor's Cup, February 16th through the 18th, guys. If anybody has some vacation time and wants to go hang out at freaking Rum River,
come on up.
Thanks, Kev Madsen. Appreciate that.
Go do it, man. Man, oh man, that is something else. Now you got what else you got here? Okay, so the Fire and Ice, you got the Dash series awards, junior dog, big dog, junior gal, ladies dash. You know, how do you guys go about with all these different breakups and separating them? I mean,
you got to bring everybody in, right?
I'm just like amazed by all this breakdown of everything.
So the Fire and Ice series, we actually get USA BMX creates a program for us for that series
to write the motos.
Yeah, to write the motos and stuff for it. The way that our Fire and Ice series works, there's 2 qualifiers each month and finals in December. And it works as you race both your regular classes and then there's the dog dashes. And Ride Brand's been our sponsor last year. They came on board again this year. Awesome to partner up with Dustin and his crew over at Ride Brand, hopping on board with sponsoring that series.
Are they clothing? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
Yep.
They're clothing. Okay.
Don't they sponsor Metro as well, Jordan?
No, that's Union.
Oh, Union Ride.
But we for the series, it's your best 10 scores plus how you do at the final. With the dashes, it's 12 and under is a group, 13 to 39 is a group, and 40 and over is a group. And kind of think of it as little pro-ams that we run each of the qualifier and the finals. And it gives a chance for the top dogs of each of those age groups to get in the gate together. You know, we got some powerhouses in the state and powerhouse riders that come in from out of state. And it's no fun just always being the fastest kid in your own age group. Why not get in the gate with the other fast kids and see how you stack up, you know?
Yeah. One way to get better, right?
And like we get Dante Casanova over from the Dakotas and he's like, your dash races is the best training I can get for a national. You know, where else can I get in a full gate for a semi
and see neg plates
to try to qualify for a main event and then get in a full gate of a main event and they're all neg and nat numbers all the way across the gate. Right.
No matter how old they are, you're still racing.
I'm just happy to be in the gate for the main, let alone thoughts of winning it, you know?
Right. That's
like, awesome. And we charge $7 to race that race, you know, to be in the dash itself. And then we take all the proceeds of that dash throughout the year and give it away in prizes at the end of the year. You know, so last year we gave away OGO backpacks to the champions, jackets.
Ride Brand.
You guys ever think about moving to California?
No, it'd be easier for you all to move to us.
It probably would be, but it's just not happening. I just can't see it. But thanks for the offer,
man. Oh man,
because you guys are doing it so right that it's amazing that what you guys are doing. I mean, there's just so outstanding.
There's just so many questions. I mean,
where do you start with questions?
Hey, for those of you guys in the chat room, guys, we're letting our guests run the show, man. They're running and gunning with everything going on at Rum River up there in Minnesota, guys. So if you guys have a question, they can see the chat room on their side. So if you have a question, go ahead and post it up and they will gladly answer it. They've been doing that since we've been live, guys. And we greatly appreciate it too. The listeners appreciate it. I know a handful of our listeners from here in California that are volunteers at certain tracks. I know they're taking notes and been asking a lot of questions too.
Well, thank you for having us on. This is
absolutely. Oh, Hollywood Mike Miranda's in here. Serena's in here. Look out. Now you got Hall of Famers watching the show.
The big thing, Hollywood Mike Miranda, he's a track operator now for Wheelhouse out there in Prescott, Arizona.
He's something. There's no doubt about that.
Now, so let's see what else you guys. Okay, so now the next bit of news that I have here on the desk.
We have some people.
Your beginner league.
How
How
like
is your
favorite thing we have?
Really? See it, but she don't like doing. She don't like.
Well, no, the beginner league is kind of my baby at the track. So we run it 4 times a year. We get, I don't know, we kind of cap it like 35, 40 riders. We try to get brand new riders to the sport. Raced less than 5 times. And so for, I don't even know how much it is, $190, I think, 170. I don't do the money part of it, but
we get it. Yeah.
You get 5 races. You get 4 coached 2-hour practices. You get you get a jersey, a number plate. It includes your USA BMX membership.
The big thing with us, you know, I went round and round one year with Donnie Robinson out at Grands. He's like, oh, we got to get Rum River on board with doing beginner league with the USA BMX model. I said, no, Donnie, we got to get USA BMX on board with doing it the Rum River model, because what we're doing is working.
Nick.
And we went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And we couldn't agree, you know, and we don't do the USA BMX model. And the big difference that we do, our beginner league racers from day one of racing are racing with the regular racers.
They don't race just each other, I think, which is USA BMX's model.
Right.
They race just within their own little beginner league, which I think is so far from what actual racing is and from reality. And so then when they come to a real race, it's overwhelming. So we coach them right into how to get into the chutes at a race, and literally everything from the beginning of the race to the end of the race, we're coaching them through it. And
we take just as much time that we're spending with the riders. We have parent coaches working with the parents, teaching them about the sport of BMX, you know, showing them what motos look like, showing them around the building, like where full tilt is, why you want to buy your kid a pair of gloves, you know,
how
stuff
to fill
like
out
that. How to fill out the race entry slips, you know,
and
everything. And when we get through the race league program, we give every kid a kind of graduation certificate. And one of the big arguments I had with Donnie Robinson, he's like, well, you don't let kids do the beginner league a second time. And I'm like, dude, if you have kids that need to do the beginner league a second time, you failed at your beginner league. Like the step after beginner league is called novice. Like you have local clinics and stuff like that as your next step. Like if somebody neets to do beginner league again, like you didn't do a good job with your beginner league.
That's Sam.
And then our beginner league too, we have a lot of the coaches are the riders that they're going to see around the track. So we have a lot of youth coaches that kind of come in and help mentor these kids too. So it's awesome to have, you know, we might have 12 different riders out there helping the beginner league. You know, these kids could be home sleeping, playing video games, that sort of thing, but they beg to come out there and help these young riders.
Yes, the league riders run with a normal membership. Like I said, we don't do the USA BMX program. We don't get the points for beginner league on the USA BMX side of things. We count them as a regular member from day one. And most of the other tracks in Minnesota, a few of them tried to do the regular USA BMX league model to start with. And, you know, the part we're blessed with is we don't deal with weather. You know, if we have a beginner league scheduled, like it's going to happen. Where like the outdoor tracks, like if you're signed up for beginner league, you can't do anything else until you've graduated beginner league and become a regular member. Now, I think they've changed that now where you can. I haven't really followed.
Yeah, because they didn't give you a membership.
Right. But I really tried to push for this because it's like these riders, they may sign up for the league, but there's 3 weeks between the time they sign up and when they can actually start the league. So let's let them practice from day one, you know, or you're part of a league on an outdoor track and your 1 week gets rained out. Now it's a second week and you're still not on the track at all. And the nice thing with our facility is most race days, every novice class gets built. So these beginner league riders have full racks of riders to race against.
You know, their age group.
The other part that I don't like with the USA BMX model is they don't let like that middle age group participate, and they only let adults participate if their kids in it. And it's like, why would you segregate people out? Like, why would you not let a 15-year-old sign up if they want to? Or why would you not let a 40-year-old just sign up for the league if they don't have a kid?
Why would you turn somebody away?
And
It's
we let anybody that wants to sign up, you know, as long as they're new to the sport.
Yeah, we get all ages. I order jerseys, youth small to adult XXL. Yeah.
So how has the way you guys been doing your beginner league, how has your rider retention benefited from it?
I would say with beginner league, we probably have 85 to 90% of those riders stay active in the sport.
Holy shit. You know, so how many do you get? Like, what's your average?
So most of our beginner leagues have about 30 to 40 riders in them. And I would say a year out, most of time we got about 20 of those riders or so are still active in the sport. Mm-hmm. Where you compare that to John Doe just coming in off the street, I've always followed this model. For every 5 people that do a one-day membership, 1 will actually sign a membership. For every 5 that sign a membership, 1 will actually race. For every 5 that'll actually race, 1 will race 5 times. For every 5 that'll race 5 times, 1 will still be a racer at the end of the year. For every 5 that are a racer at the end of the year, 1 will still be a racer for years to come. And if you look at those
what that
numbers,
tells you is you have to have a massive influx to retain your riders. You have to have huge numbers.
That's why we have 500 one-day memberships last year. You know,
how do you sleep at night with all those numbers going through your head?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I read them down on paper. I'm a numbers guy myself, but it's like
we said, Rain
Man. He counts himself to sleep every night, right? You're counting sheep.
What's up, Jason?
You're counting sheep. Yeah.
Where's my box of toothpicks at? I'm throwing them on the ground. I want to know how many they're in it.
That's just insane.
Jesus Christ, bro. That's crazy. What's up, Bruno?
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't.
Wow.
Damn it.
You know what? If you think about that, that is pretty much spot on.
That's freaking awesome.
I mean, the numbers of how many is going to be around forever. I mean, for longevity. Right. Most people that come out and race don't stick around that long. They've tried a few times, they like it, that's all right. But I want to be a dirt jumper, or I want to be a park bike rider, but we'll give it a shot.
Well, a lot of it, you got to make that connection with the parents. You know, like the kid's going to have fun on the track. I think the 2 biggest problems that people that just come in on their own do, number 1, they have the mentality that they need to practice for a long time before they start racing. And what happens then is they get really good practicing. So then when they do finally go out and race, they win right away. Then they fly through novice, get into intermediate, get beat, and quit.
Don't want to play no more.
If you can get them racing quicker, they're more engaged in the sport. They're actually out there riding against people their own age. They learn to finally make a main. They learn to finally get on the podium. They learn to finally win a race. So then when that progression happens in intermediate, they've done that progression once before.
Right.
And at the same time, you educate the parent on how the sport works. The parents make other friends with other people in the beginner league. You know, the parents also make a connection with these kids that are coaches as well. Now, when they're out there on a race day, they're not just watching little Timmy do the race. They're watching these 2 or 3 coaches also race. So now rather than watching one kid do a 45 moto day, they're watching 2 or 3 other people that they know as well, or maybe 2 or 3 parents that they got to know their kids racing as well. And it's more of a connection to the sport, and it hooks them.
Another thing that we've done too that I think has been really helpful. You know, when you sign your kid up for basketball or baseball, you know the rules, you know the sport, that sort of thing. But when you come into our facility and your kid's never been at the BMX track, it's very overwhelming. So what we try to do on our practice nights is we know who all the one-day memberships are. We know who the new members are that are there that night. We at like 7 or 7:15, we pick a time. We announce it all night long. We invite the parents of those riders to come up on one of our mezzanines and like introduce ourselves, make that connection, talk with them, answer their questions. hand out our brochures to like upcoming, our beginner league or our upcoming clinics or things like that, to try to tell them, we know it's overwhelming. Try to get them in that small little group with other people that are brand new that night too, so they can look around and then make some connections that way.
Get them involved.
That's what Debbie just mentioned in the chat. So you guys are literally running a double beginner league. You're working with the kids that are new to the sport, and you're working with. And then
we have a parent coach. Shout out to Larry. He's really good.
Larry.
I always tell the parents when they're signing him up that while we're out there teaching your kids the ins and the outs, on the track, the parents are going to learn just as much information. He hands them a folder with packets, and he's going through like rules and all this sort of stuff. Because, like I said, we all know the rules of basketball and baseball, right? We learned all that in school. You walk in here and you have no idea. You're deer in a headlight.
You're 100% right. I mean, that's. People really just don't know. I mean,
Rachel's coming in clutch. Larry says hi, so they're all checking in. Everybody from Rum River, all you guys' awesome volunteers are in the chat too while they're at Big B's Super Camp.
Well, they volunteer like their operators.
Who's watching the ice cream?
Oh, rub it in.
Just saying,
rub it in, bro.
Man. Looking out for you, Mikey.
Hopefully nobody, because I'll be in there. Ice cream, I'm all on. No, that's awesome. I mean, because there's nothing like that to go. Oh my God. And Nick's been chiming in,
yeah, Nick Valencia is giving you guys a ton of praise. I know Jared Walker's been in here too. He runs Rusty Bull up there in Ukiah, up in the way north part of Cali. He's like 3 hours from us, and he's giving you guys a lot of props too, along with a lot of other people from.
We have some track operators coming in from Indiana that we met at Grands and spent some time with them, and they want to bring their crew up and kind of walk through the facility and learn kind of what we're talking about here, but they want to see it.
The thing that I've never understood is these track operators that take the mentality of like, these are my secrets, I'm not sharing it with anybody. Like, I look at it this way, like, I don't care if it's the number 2 track in the country. Like, I'll help any track out there try to be more successful. And if you beat us next year because a tip that you learned from us, like, so be it,
I did my job, right? You shared, you helped someone else be better, which is
and I might learn something from you too. We try to help grow the sport, and the blessing that we have is we operate 50 weeks out of the year, and we got an awesome team of people to do it. So if we've figured something out, like, and if there's a track that can benefit from something we figured out, like, why try to reinvent the wheel?
No,
part of, when USA BMX did away with doing the summit, I feel like it's a bit of a disservice to the community, because there's stuff like this that we could share to help other tracks succeed better,
this is definitely huge, and I guarantee after this show and then in between here and all things BMX, you guys are going to be getting a lot of emails and phone calls, man.
I mean, I went to that first summit. That was a really, really good thing to be a part of.
I feel like the summit went right as I was entering as on the board.
Yeah, I mean, we just opened our track here in Manteca, and the track operator and his wife and me and a girl that I brought up in racing, Megan Matthew, was her mom, just chimed in. Me and her mom went to that thing, and wow, so much information, and it sounded really good, but not very many people took a hold of it, unlike you guys, because apparently you guys took hold of it, of all their ideas and their progressions and the way to do things right. But
even like here in Minnesota, we value our volunteers and our riders, and so like we do medical training for our volunteers, and
they're at the track.
At the track, we bring in local fire, EMTs, stuff like that. And it's not just first aid CPR, but it's like what you're actually going to see. Like anybody can go do a Red Cross, first aid CPR
how to
class.
Remove a helmet.
But we do like somebody's actually crashed unconscious on the track, laying upside down on an obstacle. How do you assess them? What do you do? How do you put them on a backboard? That kind of thing,
Wow, that's awesome.
we break it down to like 5 or 6 stations, rotate them around the building.
Show them how to use the AED that we have in the building.
But above and beyond just doing that with our volunteers, we open it up to the other volunteers around the state to come out to that as well. Because my son might be racing at one of the other tracks around the state, or, you know, one of their volunteers might be working at our track one day.
Right.
And we want to see as many people trained on that stuff as possible. So it doesn't help just for our volunteers to have it. If we can open that up to everybody, great. You know, like a few years ago, we had an active shooter training out at our building. We had the local police department come out, and it's like, what would we do if there was an active shooter situation in our building? Like, what's the right response? And so we had all of our volunteers come in and just have like talks about like, what do we do? You know,
you're reading that right, Rick.
Yes, yeah, that's awesome.
You seen my reaction? Hey, see, you're getting good at this podcast shit.
Yeah, you don't like podcasts.
Yeah, we did have a gentleman who
you guys saved him.
Yeah,
one of our volunteers who is a nurse in her real life, did CPR on the side of the track and revived him.
Did he get Rock 1?
Yeah, he actually got Rock 1 this year down at Grants.
Not great. It's an awesome story.
That is outstanding.
If you can die and come back to life, that's a pretty fucking awesome
and win
story.
Rock. And win Rock.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna win Rock too. That's why I'm back.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just starting. I got a lot of life left in me.
DB Sports was at Daytona. Wow, damn. That is just holy crap,
wow,
man.
One
that is
Rock.
That's crazy. I mean, just getting that. I mean, he had died there at the track, and you guys saved him. Is just.
But I mean, it was amazing. I mean, not amazing that it happened, but looking back and going back and I looked at the cameras. I wasn't there that day. I was on vacation, but I quickly heard what was going on, and to look back and watch the camera footage, and to see the volunteers do what we had practiced, and one
now,
person
was it a crash or something, a collision or
yeah.
So had an obstacle.
You get vacations.
You
run a track. You get a vacation.
I heard the vacation.
The hell's up with that?
Yeah. We have a good team. We have a good team. I can leave.
What?
Brian had gone through some health changes. He had like recently quit drinking caffeine, stuff like that. So he had kind of passed out on the track. He didn't know if he had passed out before crashing and that's what made him crash, or if he had crashed and then blacked out. But he had gotten off the track, kind of wobbly knee. And then we actually had restarted racing. And then I was announcing racing that day, and kind of out of the corner of my eye, as the next moto is going around, I see arms flailing and I see chest compressions going on. And we get racing to stop as the next moto goes around. And it was a very surreal moment for me, because it's like,
dude, I'm living it right now.
What's the right thing to do?
What's the right thing to do on the mic?
Do you plug a commercial like you normally do during a normal crash on the track, or and TV I decided, a silent building's the most logical thing, give people that are actually dealing with the situation the best chance to handle the situation. People did a real good job of clearing out of the way, grabbed a tarp to kind of make a privacy area around what was happening to kind of keep the looky-loos away. The volunteer team hopped right into getting the path cleared for the EMTs and stuff like that. The hardest part I had is where I was. I didn't have a radio, so I didn't hear anything going on. And all the way till he was in the back of an ambulance, I didn't know the situation. I didn't know if they got him back, and then I found out afterwards that he was actually talking with paramedics as they were loading him, so it was awesome to be able to say over the mic, that Brian was communicating, with everybody as he was getting loaded up. 2 days later, he was back at the track visiting with people. He had some broken ribs and stuff from the chest compressions.
We ended up, was it like, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks later, we ended up having a counselor come in to kind of talk with the volunteers, anybody who wanted to be there to because it's traumatic, and I didn't want anybody internalizing. And that was kind of a really good
Yeah, it was a tough situation for a lot of the volunteers to
deal with. Someone dies and you got to bring them back at a track. I mean, that's not typical.
But like an amazing outcome.
And one of the things that, I've always looked back on, bless his heart, Carson back a few years Rockford. Back down at Rockford, passing away on the track, we were there that day. And every year since that happened, I've always thought, what can we do to prevent something like this at our track? What can we do to be ready for this type of situation?
Right.
And so we make sure to have the AED on site. We make sure to do the medical training every year. Like, we try to do everything we can so that if a situation like this happens, what can we do to be as prepared as possible? And when I look back at what happened that day with Brian, nothing but pride for our entire team for how the situation was handled. Like, I really feel like everybody did everything the best they could do. So
he lived.
Super proud.
Yeah.
He lived. I mean, they did exactly what they could do.
Yeah.
They're not doctors, but they did what they knew how to do. Got him to the hospital. They took care of the rest of it. Dude, A for effort. I mean, that's awesome.
Wow.
That's just crazy. I mean, my wife's a respiratory therapist, and she has been for almost 30 years, I guess. I take her to the track. She goes, if someone falls out, she's on it.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows what she's doing, which is fine. But there's always that. A lot of people right now, the way the world's turning around, people are just like hesitant about jumping in, because if something happens and you actually have a license doing it,
mm-hmm.
it could be on you,
right?
If things don't work out the right way. But it's like she don't give a shit. Right. If someone needs help, she's going to be in there helping them, and if it works out, great. I mean,
they don't fall under the Good Samaritan law. Yeah.
Right. I mean, she don't want to get burned, but she's not going to let someone suffer.
Right.
Because she's worried about her ass.
Exactly.
Well,
commendable.
She is.
Commendable.
Yes. Which is awesome. I mean, your volunteer crew is bar none better than any that I've ever heard of.
Hey, Dan.
Well, and we're blessed. A lot of our volunteers are paramedics in real life, or police officers in real life, or different things, that help with those type of situations as well. So when we have a rider that crashes and they're holding their arm, like, it's a collarbone or something like that, we're like, hey, Barry, can you come take a look in corner one? Because he sees it in real life every day, so we have that kind of next level above just a volunteer to kind of help assess some of those situations.
Right.
So now for like, when you guys do offer the medical training and stuff, do you guys get volunteers from any of your other surrounding tracks to
we invite them?
Mm-hmm. Yep. We invite all of them to come, and we encourage them all to come. Like, some do their own thing, but we open the doors to any of the surrounding tracks to come out to it. Cause
like you said, it could be one of our kids at their track that needs help.
Right. No, exactly. Now,
God, you guys get so many props.
Yeah,
so
guys. Yeah, the chat room is just blowing up for you guys.
You're gonna go to bed tonight feeling real good, right?
That's right.
You know what?
Good night's sleep.
You should. That's awesome. Yeah.
Go have a cold stone ice cream for me.
Get a night.
I feel better for you about the whole thing.
I'll buy you a freezy.
Yeah.
So now with all your surrounding tracks and being pretty in a close proximity, now does any of the volunteers from either your venue or the other venues, do any of them double over?
They do.
Absolutely. So that's kind of one of the nice things,
beautiful thing in the winter.
All the outdoor tracks are closed right now. So a lot of their volunteers will come volunteer at our track during the winter months, because
this is a handful of them.
This is a busier time of year for us,
Right.
And then, of course, flip side, during the summer, there's a handful of our volunteers that pull double duty on their tracks as well. We got volunteers that work at our track all the time that are board members at the other tracks,
Mm-hmm.
So this is a kind of a cool thing too. And we comp our volunteers. So if you're volunteering at one of our practice nights and you have 6 kids, all 6 of your kids are going to practice for free that night. If you're volunteering on a race night and you have 3 kids that ride open, class, and cruiser, they're all going to race for free that day. So it's kind of
We
one of
talk
those
about
things
that
that
all
we
the time.
appreciate. We understand, you know, it takes time out of their life, and what better way to show it than like just race for free, practice for free tonight.
God, we talk about that all the time. I mean,
Man,
we've had a
wow.
couple of tracks in the past that have been like that. If you come out and you're corner marching, for me, it was always I go early and I work on the track before we ever started riding.
Right.
And actually, you know, I don't even know if me or my son ever raced for free, but I didn't give a shit because I'm riding the track. I want it to be nice.
Right,
But
right.
There's certain tracks that have taken care of their people, and other tracks they don't get it, dude. It costs you $1, or maybe
That's what Josh will tell you.
Right.
He trust me. He's ran the numbers.
it's $1
It doesn't cost much to do exactly what we're doing.
No,
Yeah.
$1 for a kid to race. You have to pay. If you can't afford $1 for someone who's volunteering their time, which they don't have to, then you're not doing it the right way.
So the couple other things that we do too, the second part that we do is we do quarterly swag. So depending on how many hours you work, you qualify for swag. So like
this is our new one this winter. Yeah.
Really?
So
this is probably one right here. Yeah.
So
a couple hoodies.
I ain't flying all the way out there just to volunteer, just to get a goddamn.
So that way, you know, if you put in the hours, you get the cooler swag.
Right.
You know?
Why not?
We're all about being cool, man.
Right. Well, I mean, but you're rewarded for giving your time, because you can sit up in the bleachers and watch your kids like everybody else.
Because there's plenty of people, and if you want to sit in the bleachers and you don't want to be that volunteer, that's fine. You do you. I think it's incredibly boring to sit in the bleacher. I'd rather sling hot dogs all day long. But with that being said, to each their own, and we track those, and 4 times a year we hand out, you know, hats, water bottles,
God, you guys are so cool.
You name it.
And then we try, you know, we'll do nights where we'll do just a volunteer practice, give the kids some extra track time.
Keep them sharp, Sam.
Just for, you know, kind of a give back to the volunteers. And then like this last year, we had all of our volunteer workers and their spouses out to play whirly ball.
Have you ever played whirly ball?
No.
Oh,
have you ever heard of whirly ball?
No.
You gotta Google it later.
So what whirly ball is? Remember like the plastic scoops that you like threw a little plastic ball playing catch in the yard?
Like for the kid.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's what you use. You
in
throw it. You throw it at a basketball backboard, driving a bumper car. It's a crazy.
We are in.
Dude,
Mr. NASCAR here, all about it. Dude, we're driving something and throwing shit.
I throw shit out my truck all the time.
Ball court and had all of our volunteers come out with their spouses as like an appreciation. Have a fun night away from the track. Just something to let your hair down, have some fun, be real people away from BMX for the night.
It's like being 18 and throwing beer bottles out of the car when you're driving, trying to hit the street signs. You know, it's that kind of stuff.
I mean, it's an intense version of pad tag with a bumper car.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
You got to look it up.
That's freaking awesome. Well, but you're thinking about your people that are volunteering, which, I mean, everybody, you know, most tracks, they might recognize them, but actually taking care of them is a whole nother story.
And talking about.
And we're running, you know, 50 weeks
days a week.
You guys are running
7 days a week.
Running. You know, now with you guys sharing the track operator chair, do you guys rotate your days like with the volunteers?
No.
You know, so
no. Hell no. Wait a minute. Wait. Hey, hell no.
What was that game called again? Whirly ball. Try it with side hacks.
Yes, whirly ball with side hacks. We'll bring that. We'll bring the side hacks.
Yeah.
So we definitely, us being track operator is a lot different than what probably most tracks operate like.
It sounds like you guys are having fun. Every other track operator is just
all of us,
stressed to death.
But most tracks, you know, you probably have a track operator, maybe a secretary, maybe a treasurer, and the track operator is calling all the shots and doing most of the day-to-day work and, you know, really running everything.
Right.
Alissa and I don't even have a vote on spending money at the track. We don't have a vote on our board. We're appointed to our position. Like, we have say when it comes to like the function of the races, like the safety of the racetrack, you know,
so we come up with our schedule,
that kind of stuff.
We schedule clinics.
And we kind of help facilitate the functioning side through USA BMX and the types of programs and stuff that we want run, bringing Berlin in to do the super camp. You know, we went to the board and said, hey, we want to do this. Like, they had to give us the nod, like, yep, we're going to guarantee the money to Berlin if we don't sell out the clinic, you know. That's kind of our lane. But when it comes down to, like, if we say, hey, we want to buy a new set of bleachers, like, it's not our call to spend that money. Like, that's the board's deal. And so that side of things, we're structured a lot different. Alissa and I are really good yin and yang with each other. Man, I tend to be a lot more of the big picture, like, hey, let's do a pro-am and I want to throw 20,000 at it.
And I'm like, whoa. I got to bring them down. Yeah.
But you know, it's awesome having the facility we have and having each other to bounce off. Like, keep in mind, we came on board in 2020, and a month and a half after we became track operator,
we couldn't even have our building open. We still had to make our lease payments. Like,
and all of a sudden it's like, okay, you guys can have 10 people in the building. And so then we're like, okay, what do we do?
So it was like this constant pivot, learn, you know, make changes, pivot. Now what are we going to do this week? Change it, pivot, like,
and
for a year.
So it's awesome to have somebody else to do
bounce
that
those
stuff
ideas
with,
off,
you know?
and like figure that stuff out, and like
it takes a committee, you know.
Well, speaking, like, okay, so you guys got like the state race committee and your coordinators and all this stuff,
volunteer committee and coordinator,
and our own United States government isn't even this organized.
I haven't seen those titles on any paperwork anywhere for any tracks, but okay. It's working. So, which is awesome.
So how do you go about now? I'm guessing you guys probably have another committee between orchestrating, like, all the Governor's Cup, the Fire and Ice, you know, the Diamond Series, the Strider. Like, how do you guys congregate with the other tracks to figure out, like, let I-94 get one of these? Because it's like, you guys by yourself have just got it going on. I was telling Mike before the show that the way you guys are operating reminds me of the BMX clubs over in Europe, right?
Yes.
Like legit. Like, if you're you got to be certified here through Rum River and go through all this stuff before you can go to a national, or before you even think about going to Grands. You know, like how you're talking about with the Striders and your beginner leagues and all this stuff. The way you guys just got ba-boom, 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 ba-boom.
It's all nonprofit, Sand Springs.
It's just like
all volunteers.
Yeah,
right. But yeah, he was telling me before we came on, because he goes
collaborating. You know, I mean, we come up with these ideas, not just Josh and I, or, you know,
committee,
these different series and things, and now these other tracks kind of collaborated with their nearby tracks to kind of come up with these series too, because I think they started to see kind of one of the series that we ran with another track, and, you know, hey, if we promote another track that, you know, to come to our track, same sort of thing. Your motor coats are going to go up. And riders love to go see other tracks.
Absolutely.
I'm excited for these beginner leagues that we've had this winter, and now, you know, one starting at the end of the month. Once the outdoor tracks open, for them to go see some other tracks and see, you know.
Yeah, no one wants to go to the same place every time or practice every time. They want to explore.
I mean, that's how it should be.
And the thing is, you know, in summertime, it's kind of sometimes you're like, oh gosh, our moto count's dropping. It seems so dead in here, but it's like, we know they'll come back.
Right.
You know, the weather's going to change. It's Minnesota. Changed a little slower this year, but you betcha. So
that's from Jim Riley. Jim Riley always says that at Grand.
You betcha. That's my new one.
Jim Riley is always on it. Minnesota, don't you know?
Wait till the Grands next year. I'm gonna throw some you betchas at Jim.
We're blessed too, you know, with the fact that we run year round, like our Strider series that we do. We knock that out before the outdoor tracks open. You know, we can do a lot of these cool things while the outdoor tracks are still closed to try to help ramp things up and get their riders something going before their tracks get open. Then once their tracks can open up for the year, there's a whole rider base sitting there waiting to go, ready to get on the tracks. So it works awesome having all the tracks in the state and everybody in a fairly close proximity with each other. And really it's been awesome seeing the progression with all the tracks around the state.
I tell you what, you just got a you betcha from Hollywood Mike Miranda from Arizona. So I tell you what, you better watch out. Hey, Hollywood's a traveling guy. He might end up in Minnesota.
I hope he comes.
Wow. You guys are doing things that most tracks don't even think about doing, which is amazing. And God, if we could get our tracks just work together for 2 state qualifiers on the same weekend, we used to be able to do that. Back in when I came back in I think 2004. I mean, we had 4 or 5 cities that had, or areas that had tracks, and they would do the double, Saturday, Sunday.
Sure.
But now it's like pulling teeth. You got to spend 31 weeks on the road to go get 31 states qualifiers in, if that's what you want to do.
Well, and talking about like on promoting having the kids go to other tracks and the other tracks come to them, and they keep it's so hands-on between them and all the other tracks. We have 2 tracks that are literally 15 minutes apart, and it's like the Hatfields and McCoys.
Right.
God forbid you're from one track and you show up at the other track on a Friday night.
Oh God!
Holy!
Don't anybody
hell froze over.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about fire.
I can't imagine that's not going to help the sport. I don't know.
No.
I don't know how they ever expect to get.
It doesn't at all. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Hey, I agree, Walker. I agree. Yes, NorCal TOs they need to get on this page, dude, because I mean, it's so bad. I mean, just to give you an example, Rich and TJ over at Tangent canceled the freaking Tangent Pro-Am after.
I figured something big went down
because they won't work together.
Track operator, not all,
no,
but they won't.
But enough.
Yes, enough to where Rich and TJ were like, you know what, screw it.
They had a Zoom call.
Pro-Am is awesome.
They had a Zoom call. I talked to Rich at Bakersfield, and they said they had a Zoom call, and all the track operators were on board. They're all going to work together, and same weekend, 2 races in the weekend. He's like at the same track because it takes him a day just to set up his stuff to sell, and he's like, I can't go to 2 tracks and on 2 different days and set up all my stuff and sell and be productive and make any money. It's not going to happen. And they were all on board. And then 8 days later, when the schedule came out, nobody was on board. And so they canceled the whole thing because it's like, I can't go track to track on a Saturday and a Sunday. I'm not going to make any money. It's not worth my time. And so they canceled it, which is like a shocker for everybody in this area because the Pro-Am, I mean, some of these kids were making some pretty good money on the weekends for those Pro-Ams. And what do you do?
That's too bad. Now, the nice thing is like when we go and schedule our state races, all the track operators, we to kind of go over this, that we get in on a Zoom call and we go over the schedule for the summer. And so it's not like one track's going to try to call in and beat out the other track to schedule their state race on a weekend that this person really wanted it. Like at the end of that Zoom call, we know our summer schedule.
And we kind of go in the hierarchy, top track on down get to kind of pick their list,
Right.
But we kind of work together too, like if it gets down to where one track's stuck with a date and it's like that weekend there's some big event that goes on in their city and that can't work, like we talk it through, like, okay, who can shuffle a little bit or what can make sense to try to change things up a little bit. Like for us, for example, we always get a Gold Cup qualifier because we're an indoor track, and we normally still like to run our state qualifier during the summer months because then we're taking advantage of when the outdoor tracks have all their riders running as well. Right. And we chose this year with having a summer national to run our state qualifier during April with our Gold Cup qualifier because we knew summer was crazy this year because there's a lot of close nationals. We got our national in June. Like, it's going to be a chaotic schedule if we try to take up a weekend during summer as well. So let's free up one of those weekends to make it easier to schedule the rest of the state. And I think with having, Gold Cup right over in Wisconsin, plus having our national in June, we'll kind of make up with what we might lose with some of the local riders, with some of the out-of-state riders doing it before our national in June at the end of April. So we play well with each other, we
try.
It's sad when I hear of tracks around the country that can't do that. It'd make a better program for everybody. If you got 2 tracks 15 minutes apart, make a kick-ass weekend with the 2 of you.
Oh, yeah.
Every weekend.
Yeah, no.
Every weekend should be like that. Not just state qualifiers, but every weekend should be just a banger. Because they were doing it for a while.
A huge opportunity.
Right. They did it for a while. Actually, they were doing 3 tracks. It was Roseville, Elkhorn, and Napa.
Yeah.
And I mean, which is they're an hour and a half apart. The furthest to the close, or hour apart.
They had it going on for a little bit,
but they did, and people were doing it. They were doing all 3 tracks, but then they quit doing it. And it's like, why? You guys are just not making any sense, because people don't want to have to especially for a state qualifier. You don't want to have to go all 6 weekends to different places to if I can stay in the same hotel for 2 nights and race 2 different state qualifiers. I'm a happy camper.
Exactly.
Right. But
you just freed up a weekend. I mean, there's only so many summer weekends in Minnesota.
Right. And you save yourself another $150 on a hotel. I mean, I don't know what hotels cost out there, but I mean, $150, $200 a night for a hotel out here.
Yeah.
And you just save that because one night get 2 qualifiers in. I only need 5 or 6, whatever it is. And so 3 weekends. So it works. But no, and I got to go 6 weekends, 6 different hotels. And it's like,
right. It adds up.
Sean Wade in the chat says, still don't understand how Rum River doesn't have a national every year in January, February, March. The Midwest is majority lacking the first 5 months of the year.
So
it doesn't make
I'll
sense.
touch base on that. Obviously you guys know track operators, put in for a national every year. And we've put in for a national every year.
And it's not filling out one piece of paper.
And every year you wait for that phone call, whether or not you got one. And we've had them over the years. We had World Cup finals a couple of years ago. Our last national was in 2020. And I finally, this last time, I'm like, we're putting in a multi-year proposal. Like, one way or another, I don't want to have to do this every year. I don't want to have to every year wait and see.
Like, write a thesis every year.
A national, Just what we got going on should be enough to guarantee us a national every year. The bills that we got to pay should be enough to get us a national every year. But we throw the proposal together, and finally this year we got a guaranteed 3 out of 6. And at least we got the peace of mind of knowing for the next 6 years, we don't have to go through that process. We don't have to wait for the phone call. Still got to wonder which year they're coming, but we know out of the next 6 years it's happening. And I've always argued that we've been pigeonholed as an off-season track. We're blessed with having the roof and we can run in some of the inclement weather and stuff, but we got tons of green space all the way around our facility. We got a huge area for camping, and we got grandstand bleachers. We got good viewing up and down both sides of our track.
And really good food.
And
we saw that.
Talk about the food.
But we have the ability to run a 300 plus moto national in the middle of summer when you don't have to worry about if your kid's going to get rained on. You don't have to worry about standing in 90-degree heat because you got shade. Like, our building has 17 overhead garage doors on it. So we pop them doors open, and now we got a covered track. And when we run our races above and beyond doing our live broadcasts, we have a local radio band as well. So if you're sitting out in your pit, you can tune in your radio and pick up what's going on inside the building on the radio as well.
Moto.
So whether you're over in your camper or out in your pit, you can hear what's going on as well.
Where did you miss the moto? Because you weren't listening, or the radio?
No, the live feed was behind.
Where were we at? Bakersfield?
I heard Gmo added a clock feature on the live feed for that reason.
He did.
He missed the moto at Bakersfield.
I was sitting in the motorhome, and I was just like sitting there watching. Okay, cool. I guess I'll go warm up, and I'm freaking go out and warm up, and then
dishes.
His whole class comes right.
My whole class.
Where were you?
They're like, "What happened, dude? We thought the hood got you because it's a Bakersfield's in the cuts. It's like we thought the hood got you, man. You never miss a moto." I'm like, I guess I did.
Hey, Vic.
Yeah, that was. I was like, I'm looking for him on the track. I'm like, I have all these riders, but no one's showing up. My team manager is even in his motor. What the hell's going on? Then I found out.
So this year, we got a national June 7th and 9th, and I'm super pumped to have a national during the summer months. For locally, it's right after school gets out. I know there's other areas around the country that are out a couple weeks before. So we're hoping to have just a huge moto count showing up for the national, because it's a guaranteed race. Like, you're not going to show up and get rained on.
There won't be a rain.
No kidding.
Not delayed for weather or that crap.
Yeah.
The other big thing is, when you look at the stay and save hotels, a lot of them are showing us 20 plus miles away. But the thing is, Minnesota, 20 miles takes you 15 minutes to drive.
It's different than California.
It's not an LA 20 miles where it's 2.5 hours.
The guy that took my nephew
that much to go home, and I'm only 2 miles from here.
The guy who took my nephew to San Diego this weekend, he called me. I was at the grocery store. He called me.
What's up, cowboy?
Hey, we're in LA. And he goes, we have 18 miles to go to get to Bellflower. It says 55 minutes. I'm like,
right.
Oh, no,
brother.
not like that here at all.
No.
Bikeaholics. What's up, Bikeaholics?
But
to get to a hotel that's 20 minutes or 20 miles away, it's 2 traffic lights, like it's nothing, so
I always tell people, don't be intimidated by the distance the hotels are away. We're worth it. We are worth it.
There's no doubt about that. If nothing else, you're going to eat good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're going to eat
You won't go broke doing it.
You get motoed. Might as well just go eat. Grab something good and go watch the freaking mains. Go watch semis. Go watch something.
Dude, I mean, you guys have such
up, Maddie?
Event center. I mean, such a program going on there. That's God. I hope there's some more. I hope we have a lot of track operators that listen to the show, never chime in. As a matter of fact, last year Donnie Robinson chimed in one night, and we're like, he goes, "Oh, I've been listening forever.
Yeah,
I just never say anything." I'm like, well, I hope a lot of these guys are listening in right now, because
there's a lot of them in there right now.
A lot of them. There's a lot of shit you can learn from these people.
I know Walker and
they're doing a lot of
great things.
things.
A summit at our track. We don't need USA BMX to host a summit.
Right,
man.
You're damn right. We don't.
Apparently, goddamn.
I mean, you guys are doing great things, and I hope these track operators that we know are out here are actually listening and paying attention, because we need help. I mean, I don't. They don't think so. But we do. We
get
all
motoed, eat tacos. That's the one.
Get motoed, eat tacos. There you go.
Hell yeah.
Or
that's only on the national menu there, Bikeaholics.
No, get motoed, eat ice cream. Cold Stone. I mean, they got the good stuff there. So,
GMO, we're the land of 10,000 lakes. Like,
there's plenty of small mountains.
You pick your spot, man.
Yeah.
Right. It's an open invitation for a fisherman. Robbie Stanford, George Vick.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and ironically, a lot of the times prior to 2020,
and Hollywood's in there too.
The 2 nationals we had before 2020 were on opening fishing weekend. And
are you shitting me?
When you're in the land of 10,000 lakes, like,
no one's going to race.
BMXers are there, but like your moto filler, you're new to the sport people, like, they're fishing.
Oh, like, Smith Rock out of Oregon's checking in too. Now the TOs are checking in. Here we go.
Rum River used to have 5 motos when my kids were young, and now look at it.
Wow. So how many, off the top of your head, factory, bike shop, mom and pop teams do you guys have going through Rum River, or in your local vicinity?
Bike shop or like teams?
Just overall.
Yeah.
Because we did a show, what was it, Mikey, like a month ago or something?
Like
and we compared from, I think, because we did it 2 years ago on the show. And at one of our tracks, we had 27 mom and pop teams. And then now we're just under 40.
I don't know if I've ever counted.
Yeah.
Let's hear
mom
it. Numbers,
factory,
everything.
All kinds of teams.
Yeah.
I would say, if you look at like for the state series, for example, between the 2 categories that we track in the state series, there's probably 20 teams between trophy teams.
Yeah.
And then we lump together bike shop and factory.
And some of those teams are huge,
like
you guys.
Black Widow's huge in the state of Minnesota.
Right here too.
Yeah.
Dan Isaacs, Sean, they
Frank
got
Lab's got a huge team.
Danimal Isaac
Fusion's got a huge team. I mean, there's some big teams.
Well, yeah,
Stars got a decent sized team this year.
Looking at you guys on the Facebook, I just see jersey after jersey after jersey, and they're all.
Now, do you have a track
different.
team? Do you have a track team of your own?
There isn't. I know that's some of the tracks have kind of started pushing that way to make like a local track team, and we really haven't done that. The closest thing we have is like all of our beginner league riders have Rum River jerseys. So it's kind of that stepping point for those riders that got kind of that cool first jersey. Right. We try to mix that jersey up every couple of years. I think the next league will actually be getting the next new
jersey. We got new jerseys.
It's hard to run a track and have your own team because then there's people.
Well, I just feel like the whole favoritism. I don't.
Yes.
It's something I don't think I would want to be a part of.
You're right.
That's a big thing out here too, because we have some tracks that don't have track teams. And then we have some that do.
We have that beginner league, and then you set them free to to the wolves,
whoever
to the
wants
other teams.
Right. Yeah. Someone's going to pick them up because they learn the right way. You go to that beginner's clinic, you're going to learn, and
you'll learn.
Yes, if you really like it, you're going to go. Someone's going to pick you up.
There's a lot of good teams locally, and there's whether you're a novice new to the sport, there's teams that are looking for that. There's the harder core teams that are just more on the national level of things.
There's a team for everybody.
Yeah,
there really is. Yeah.
Yeah, baby. What's up, NorCal Jimmy? Now down to the brass tacks. December 15th, 2023. Racing's over. And there's a big ass excavator that just took a armload of
There went our 2-week vacation.
And
you get vacation.
There's that vacation again.
Remember, we have a good team.
And a rebuild that would probably go down in history from season's end to literally went from end to begin.
Like the night of our last race.
To January 1st.
To midnight.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Redid the whole thing. The time-lapse video, if everybody tuning in, go on Rum River's Facebook, check out the time-lapse video of the rebuild that they did there. I'm talking sliding bleachers out of the way.
That was really good idea you had, Josh. Really good idea.
So Lee Lewis and Tanner T-Bone Sebesta.
Lee Lewis, Lee the Flea.
It wasn't just a rebuild. It was, we swapped out all the dirt in the building. 2,500 tons of dirt trucked out and in.
Dude, that's
down to the Grands.
Did you guys take some of the dump trucks from Grands?
At one point I counted there were 14 trucks running.
In and out.
And you try to explain to people,
you guys just keep heading north. Just keep going.
You try to explain to people why, and our dirt was dead.
Did you know dirt can die? It's still crazy to me.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
One of the crazy things, our dirt doesn't have worms in it. Our dirt doesn't have birds pooping on it. Our dirt doesn't have
cow shit in it
growing, and when you keep pulverizing, like we change our track up all the time. Like our goal is every year to at least change two straights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
right on.
The tracks that don't change, you're doing a disservice to your riders. You got to give them something new, something fresh. Like right now is the most excited I've seen of riders on the track in a long time.
Long time.
Riders talking to each other, trying to find their line down the last straight, trying to figure out how to get over the last obstacle on the first straight. Who's going to be the first one to hit the triple going into corner one? That vibe going on in the building right now is awesome. And
vibe, you just feel it, right?
It's all about the vibe.
You're doing a huge disservice, and especially like our facility where you got some of the top riders in the country training there for 8 months out of the year. Like, let's give them something fresh, something different to challenge them with, you know? And like the last obstacle on our first straight now, I seen that obstacle at one of the nationals, and I'm like, I don't care where we throw it in. That obstacle needs to be in the new build somewhere. Like it's a perfect triple, 15 foot, but it's really tall, really big face. It's 5.5 foot tall, but it's deep and technical.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Send it. Yep.
And so when we go into this rebuild, we had bought in like 750 tons of new dirt to bring in some fresh dirt into the building.
Jesus
and we
Christ.
kind of had it piled down the middle in between 2 and 3 before we closed down at the end of the year. And we start playing with this new dirt and just make a fistful.
Make like snowballs out of it.
And you see how good this dirt is. And it's like, are we really going to mix this dirt in with our old dirt?
With our dead dirt.
Yeah.
And so we made the decision 2 weeks before the rebuild was supposed to start. We're buying all new dirt.
Wow.
And Lee Lewis and his crew were already scheduled to come up. And we already had the schedule for running the last race of the year. We already had the schedule for doing our New Year's Eve event.
Our track crew.
And so
they nailed it. They worked it.
And you'll see on the video, like we're decorated for Christmas. We got a 20-foot tall snowman in corner.
You guys had everything.
Like Christmas in there.
Yeah, it was almost like being at the shopping mall. I'm surprised you guys didn't have Santa. You go sit on Santa's lap.
We do.
He
was there on the 13th.
I quit.
Never mind.
But
hell of a show, guys.
I got hey, thanks for coming on.
I'm doing great.
I'm going to bed. I can't even
run that
this.
last race on Friday, and Lee Lewis is showing up at noon on Saturday, and
plenty of time, no problem.
We had to have all the dirt off first and second straight before he got there at noon on Saturday, so he could start building. And there was like 6 or 7 of us that from end of racing. Now we already worked our normal jobs during the day, ran the race, clean up the Christmas village that is our track. We ran equipment from 9 o'clock that night till about 3:30 the next afternoon to just move all the dirt off of first and second straight. They didn't even go to bed.
They didn't even go to sleep.
And
savage.
And then we had whirly ball that night.
That night we had our whirly ball.
Goddamn whirly ball and shit.
That was the whirly ball night. You guys went there with no
freaking whirly ball. Freaking, it's like bingo and bunko.
Funky and binky.
But yeah, so they were able to start getting first and second straight knocked out with the dirt we had already brought in. Come Monday morning, we had trucks rolling in with more dirt.
Oh yeah, because we bought more dirt. Yeah.
They were hauling in dirt while also hauling dirt out. By the end of Monday, we realized Lee and them were catching up to us, so we had to move the rest of the dirt pile off of 4th Straight so that Tuesday they could start building 4th Straight. And
Jesus, they had plane tickets, like they were going home.
Yep,
like,
they're scheduled.
They need to get home for Christmas.
And, they're ready. They're ripping and roaring.
They were there for what? 6 days? 5 days? 6 days.
6 days.
Yeah.
And Tuesday, they got the rest of the dirt hauled in and out and got the rest of the build going. We were able to incorporate in the Strider gate, got everything built up, and
Strider barrel gate. The Strider barrel gate. Okay.
Yes.
And she's a beaut. I'm telling you.
We were able to get 3 coats of glue on it before we ran the first race on New Year's Eve. So we had 63 motos for the first gate drop at midnight on New Year's.
We even ran Striders.
63.
Christ.
63. We had a couple of New Year's Eve races. I don't think we got over 25.
Yeah,
we kind of took bets.
I've wanted to do this New Year's race for a few years.
Here we go.
And
another one of them ideas, huh, Alyssa?
Where everybody's
I mean, it's kind of the one holiday that maybe adults get to themselves, but not this
no. What the kids?
Everybody kept shooting me down. And I finally brought it up in front of the right person at an association meeting. And
everybody but your wife?
No, Ellie.
Hey, Ellie.
Ellie was just over the moon excited about it. And she's like texting volunteers while we're at the meeting, trying to see if they'll be there. Because my rule is like, if we can staff it, we can do it. Like, that's all that matters.
Right.
Like, even when it's bad weather, like if there's a snowstorm or something, if we can get enough staff there to operate, we should open the doors. Like, people can make their own decision if they want to come.
Whether they want to come or not. Yeah.
And so before that association meeting was done, we had enough volunteers to operate for the event. And it turned out to be an awesome event. We did 2 hours of practice. People got kind of that first look at the new build. So there was a lot of hype with that.
confetti cannons. Still finding confetti. Yeah.
We had burn barrels,
Christ.
and that's all we had. The ones we had, because I'm not gonna lie, it was cold as shit.
Yeah.
But we had burn barrels, and there was no confetti. There wasn't even a celebrate. There wasn't even no party poppers. So you buy at the corner store.
Josh.
We bought 100 bottles of the fake champagne so that we could pop bottles with everybody, and everybody could have a glass of bubbly to toast.
Dude,
for
this
the
is like
New
the
Year's.
BMX freaking ESPYs and shit.
That's like
over
the
here.
Kardashians and BMX.
Great idea. We should have a red carpet
man.
event. That'd be fun.
I tell you what, you know what, and you know, you guys keep pumping up the volunteers and all, like, and
because honestly, guys, without them, our track is nothing.
That's the thing, nothing. you know, and after the show, whenever we're done and do whatever we're gonna do, is like, you guys have got to be doing something honestly right to have this strong of a volunteer group, like, running this. This is just insane. Like, there's so much.
They're treating them right. That's all.
So much
what
turnover of volunteers here in
right.
California. The turnover of volunteers out here is ridiculous.
It's not hard to realize that if you take care of people, they're going to take care of you.
And not only that, remember why we're volunteering. We're not volunteering because our 40-year-old husband wants to be in this sport. We're there because there's
what's
kids.
wrong with that?
Yeah.
I mean, well, you too, but
Just kidding.
like at the end of the day, you're here because of the kids. And if we can't make something special for little Jimmy out there,
100%,
then we're doing it wrong.
Yes.
Some of my favorite days, you get busy doing the behind the scenes stuff, and like, I announce a lot of the race days and stuff like that. And I try to race every now and then, and my wife hates it when I do, and I smile at her every time I cross the finish line and she's scoring,
Yeah.
It's awesome being back in the chutes and just seeing that side of it.
Whole other vibe.
Or standing up at the gate on a practice night and just talking with the riders. Like Taylor Riedemann last night, the big oak tree. He's in the gate. It's the end of the night. We got timers at the bottom of our hill. Gate 2, 4, 6, and 8. We got a timer, and you can see the times up above corner
Besides
2.
the scores. Besides the scores. This is for
above
anybody
and beyond
to see.
scores timing system. And I look at them, and it's like,
so you got two different timing systems?
Yeah.
We'll get back to that. Let me finish this story.
Oh.
Anyway, so I look at Taylor and I say, Taylor, there's 7 minutes left to practice. I'm like, Taylor, 199 on the timer is this gate. I'll give you $20. He's like, dude, I'm jello. I've been going all night. I'm like, $20 right now. He does his gate. He gets a 2 flat.
Oh.
And he comes back up and he's like, man, I'm like, you got one more crack at it, this gate. And he's like, head slump, like he's already done 2 hours of hard practice. Like, this dude's a puddle,
Yeah.
Gate drops, he's got a 199.
You're $20 later.
And I couldn't wait to get to the finish line with a $20 bill out of my wallet. Mm-hmm. And he comes to the finish line and he's like, dude, thanks for the training. Like, he pushed harder them 2 laps than he probably would have at the end of a night after already doing 2 hours of practice.
Yeah.
And it's like making those connections with the riders. Like, that's what's fun,
And that he wasn't the only one looking at those timers.
No.
There's other people up there that probably were getting excited about it too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is
insane.
That that just you talk about getting in the chutes. Last year I went to Dirty Fest, old school BMX race Mike Hollywood puts on, or Dirty Noms puts on. I'm doing staging. I got Stu Thompson, Perry Kramer, Charlie Williams,
all the dudes.
I mean, they're all there, and I'm just honestly, I ain't saying shit. I'm just like, I'm just listening to their stories, and they're all talking about the stuff back in the day, and I'm like,
they're out of Rum River BMX in Minnesota, Jimmy.
What a way to spend an afternoon. I mean, and it doesn't matter. I mean, I've done it with the kids. I mean, just listen to them, all the little shitter chatter, and the kids, they don't have nothing to talk about because they're young. Listen to these old pros that are all in the Hall of Fame. Listen to them chitter chatter. It's not about the racing all the time. There's a lot of other things going on at the track than just the racing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool connections.
Yes. Yes, connections.
Back to this 2 different timing systems. I just want to know more.
We had scores before scores was scores.
Yeah, so we
you had scores before it was scores.
This goes back to
why am I not surprised?
This goes back to the Kevin Riedemann days before we were track operators. You know, if you're going to do something to train, you have to have a way to measure it, you know?
Yes.
And so originally we used to have a strip at the 30-foot line, just at gate 3, that you could run over and the gate operator could see that time. And there would be like a line of kids that just want to hit gate 3, and the gate operator would have like a notepad and sitting there writing down times for whoever that was hitting that gate, you know. And there was always the pipe dream of doing something better, you know. And then we got the system that we have above corner 2 now, where it's like out at 45 feet. There's a strip at gate 2, 4, 6, and 8. You hit the strip, the time shows up above the corner, and you can see it from the gate, and you can see it out in the bleachers. And so, like, when the riders come around the corner before they go into corner 2, they can look up and see their time. And whether mom's sitting out in the stands or, you know, their coaches up in the gate or the riders out on the track, they can see what they got for a time.
I mean, people have notebook. I mean, it's like you said, what better way to train? You got to see the numbers.
And so we had that as our timing system for several years. And I was actually in talks with My Laps to do something long before scores came out. And all My Laps could do was gate drop to finish line, and we couldn't drop another gate before everybody crossed the line. And it's like, that will never work in our sport. Yeah. And then finally I start hearing this buzz about scores. And the first year Martin came out to Grands, I think Goodyear BMX was already on board. They were the first ones in the US that had the system installed. But yeah, I was going to Grands that year for my son to race, but really I was going to Grands to get more information on scores. And when I crunched the numbers, I felt like we needed to have 5% of our riders.
He crunched more numbers.
Right?
More numbers.
We needed 5% of our riders to get on board with this system to make it make sense. And if we could get 5% of our riders to buy into the system, we could pay for the system in 2 years. And I brought it back to the board, and some of the board was on board with it. Some of it was kind of wishy-washy. And I pushed for it. And I said, you know, like, if we can do this, like, it'll be an awesome training tool. Like, USA BMX is getting on board with this. Like, it's not going anywhere.
Right.
And we finally pulled the trigger and installed it. We had timers at the bottom of the hill, in the first corner, and the finish line to start.
Three.
And
loops.
It started blowing up, started getting bigger. Finally, 2 years ago, we installed 3 more loops. So we got going out of corner 1, out of corner 2, and out of corner 3 also.
Wow.
And now on an average day, we have about 30% of our riders activating their chips. And it's an awesome training tool. Like, whether you're a novice just getting started out, or you're a top expert that wants to figure out, is it better to jump or manual something? You can look at that segment of the track and figure out what's the better line, you know? And like I said, it's not going anywhere. USA BMX is fully embracing the technology. And I'm predicting within a couple of years, if you're going to race a national, you're going to have a chip on your bike. And
I've joked that it's Jen's retirement plan.
100%.
Yeah.
And whether you're, you know, like, even looking at, like, if your kid says, hey, I did 20 laps, I'm going to take a break, you can look and say, hey, you actually did 22 laps. Go ahead and take a break.
Or what the heck did you do at the track all night? I see you did 3 laps.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you look at, like, if you got that expert girl that is always stuck racing the same 2 other girls, you can now race yourself. Like, if you know you're always going to take third against the same 2 people, like,
race the clock.
Now you can race the clock. Now you can push yourself, you know? But the more tracks like us that get it on board for a training tool, now when you go to the nationals, you have it for the nationals.
Right.
And then when the nationals have it, now when you go back home, you have something for training. Like, it's a win-win if both systems have it. If every local track has it, and like for us, we have it up on screens. So like when you go up to the gate, there's big TVs running vertically. So riders, when they come back around the hill, they can look up at the TV and see what their times were.
They don't have to have a phone in their pocket or
there's a screen over by the bathrooms that show their times too. So
and with all the breakdowns and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
With all the
that was like having the timing loops and stuff like you got. See, that was like the one thing that I didn't really care for when they're like, oh, we're gonna do scores timing. It's just one loop. It's the track loop. And it's a great training tool. It's just an overall time. It doesn't time your first straight to turn one. Or
like if you're gonna do a gear change or something like that, or hey, this gate felt really good.
I used to pit crew and everything for NASCAR, and that's what we were all about, was the different timing loops and figure out where your strong points and your weak points are at.
Right.
That is awesome. And yes, that is badass.
Jimmy, to answer your question, we have 11 TVs in the facility. There's 3 above registration, 3 above concessions. There's 1 in concessions. So like our concessions people can watch our live broadcast. A lot of times they're stuck working and can't
we try to get out to watch our own kid, but if you can't, you can at least
it is on a little bit of a lag, so they can, if you hear the crowd make a noise, you can look up at the live stream and see what's going on. There's a TV up above staging. There's 2 TVs up above
we use them like as
the
our
gate.
Menu boards as our
Wild Wings doesn't even have 11 TVs, Mike.
Yeah, shout out to Sean Wilson. He wrote this awesome program called Track Booster. We can actually go on our phones and change our race menus for concessions and stuff.
Do like countdown to racing.
Yeah, so like when we have like our state qualifiers and stuff like that.
Track Booster.
Yep.
Track Booster.
Is it an app, or is it like, do you download it or
no? It's actually a program. I don't know that he's actually made it publicly available yet.
But maybe
we were kind of the beta that he was always shooting for and hoping to someday make it a public thing. But so like at like our state qualifiers, when we do time practices, we'll have a TV showing how much time's left
like
for the current practice
12 and under.
and who's the next group on deck. We can pop that up on a TV.
That's awesome.
The clock on there.
Yeah, you're indoors. You have TVs. You're not getting beat up by the weather. Which is awesome. I mean,
right. You don't have to put
do that
up and take the stuff down every day. I mean,
right.
When we were outdoors, you had to get to the track early to put up speakers.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. No
kidding. We're not going to hang 11 TVs outside, but inside, go for it.
Right. Even like our sound system in the building, like all of our speakers are up above the crowd.
John, you must be the Disneyland of BMX.
Oh, John's a cool dude. He's from SoCal. John's one of my homies.
And it really is. Like, if you've never been to the facility, you have to come out. One of the biggest compliments we've ever got, Greg Hill came out from GHP.
Really?
Came out and did one of his last on-the-road clinics at our facility.
Oh, damn.
And he walked in the door, and before he'd even talk to me, he just wanted to do a loop around the track. And he come back up to me, and he's like, if I sat down with pen and paper and tried to draw the perfect indoor facility, I couldn't come up with what you guys have.
Awesome.
He said,
congratulations on that. That's awesome.
It's awesome what you guys have. And like today,
what just Berlin did when he got to the track today and sat down with those kids, one of the first things I heard out of his mouth was, you guys don't know how good you've got it here. Like, you don't know what you're sitting in. Because to be honest, a lot of our kids don't know any different.
No.
Like when we try to tell local people, when we have a low moto count day for us, 30, 35 motos, and they're like, God, it's dead in here. Where is everybody? And then you tell them like the national average is 12 motos. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, for the national average to be 12, that means there's tracks getting 5, 6. And they're like high-fiving that they got 6,
Right.
And
we've been to those tracks, some of them.
Yeah.
Or, where you have your 6-year-old racing a 32-year-old,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, part of what helps make us cool is we have something cool. And
absolutely.
It's easy to bring someone new to the sport, and they hop in the gate as a 7-year-old, and there's 12 other 7-year-olds there that day. Like, it's easy to get excited about that. Where I could see, like, if you're starting at a 5 moto track, it's hard to build that into what we got,
right.
But we weren't always what we are, you know.
Kevin mowed corners.
Yeah, there was a day when we were an outdoor track that nobody wanted to ride at. Like it was a sand pit in the corners that nobody wanted to go through. But Kevin Riedemann and his boys,
like a dream.
When everybody else was out enjoying time with their families on a 4th of July, he was at the track working on it, trying to make it better. And hats off to Kevin, all the work he did to help
get
get
us
of
dreams, right?
To kind of where we are.
If you build it, they will come. Totally.
And really, you know, I get calls probably once a month from track operators around the country that want to do an indoor facility. And we had a huge rider base when we started. You know, when we opened up the building, we figured we needed 100 riders minimum every day that we opened the doors.
We knew we had
just
to sell
break even.
$250 on average in concessions a week, which
funny. we knew like we needed those minimum numbers to just make things break even.
Right.
And
you don't want to fail.
And I'll talk to track operators around the country and I'll ask them like, okay, you want to open an indoor facility? How big's your local rider base? They're like, oh, we get 20 riders on a practice night. It's like, it's never going to work. Like it wasn't like we built the building and all of a sudden, boom, they all showed up. Like we had a successful program as an outdoor track. We were one of the top 10 tracks in the central region as an outdoor track. And now as an indoor, like we've just been able to grow on that. And a lot of our success, it's not just because we have an indoor facility. Like there's other indoor facilities around the country that aren't the top track in their state. It's all the things we do. It's reaching out to the schools. Like we have 5 different school districts that were involved in their community ed programs. It's getting involved in parades. I think we did 4 or 5 different parades last year.
Good job.
You know, it's getting involved with as much different things and tapping as many different resources as we can. Having Chamber of Commerce luncheons out at our facility just to get local businesses in the door to show them like, hey, this is what we are. We're not just this big
building, you know, in the middle of a parking lot. Like come see what's inside.
Wow, you guys are just absolutely killing it. I mean, Valencia is talking about how he likes talking to you whenever he sees you. You guys are just like him, like last week's show. He will tell you whatever you want to know, and he'll tell you the truth. There's no punches to pull here. If you want to be successful, take some suggestions and improve your track. And you can do it, but you have to want to do it, and you have to be willing to put the effort out there.
Well, and the volunteers want to do it too, which is just like this whole freaking group.
If your kid races, most parents have no problem being a volunteer. Not all of them, but most parents.
What's up, Rasheen Hicks?
Tariq,
man.
If your kid races, most parents will mind volunteering, but they're not going to do it every day of the week. Every time you want to race, you can't call them and just depend on them to be there. You guys have 60 volunteers. Do you have a list to pick from?
Yeah.
And all 60 of them are willing to do it at some point, which makes a huge difference because I think our local track's got about that same amount of volunteers, but they beat this horse so bad that that they don't want to come back.
Yeah, they beat the blood. Yeah.
And volunteers are a unique thing, you know. Like I feel like the generations of volunteers have changed. Like it used to be like when the track was an outdoor track, like if everybody didn't grab a shovel and a rake and go fix things from the rain, like your kid wasn't riding that day.
Yeah.
Right.
And so like the older generation knows like you need to be
put
involved.
In the work. Yeah.
Where I feel like there is some, you know, nationwide, there's some sense of like, well, I'm paying my race fees today. Like I don't need to volunteer, you know, like, and there's people that volunteer just for the passion of helping, whether they're getting comp for it or not. Like the comp part's just a bonus, like whether they're getting comp for it or not. Like the amount of hours Alissa and I put in, we're not doing it for the comps. Like if we broke down the comps, like
you don't give yourself free races.
My kids don't even really race much at this point.
Like if we broke it down just for the comps, like we'd be better off
paying the $17,
right? You know,
absolutely,
right?
100%.
Get out
right there
free
with
card right there.
Yes,
but you know, there are some people that only do it for the comps, you know, that they couldn't afford to be in the sport if it wasn't for the comp side of it.
Which is
you know?
fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you need that whole spectrum to run the facility that we run, you know? And we do some days, like we'll have some track work days where, like, after doing the massive rebuild we did, like,
hey Kevin,
there was a layer of dust everywhere, you know, and we had to clean the facility from top to bottom. The amount of volunteers we had come out for that was awesome. You know, people that just wanted to come help, you know, help get it ready for that first big race, you know.
Oh yeah, she was dusty.
Yeah.
Volunteers are a diamond in the rough. You have to have them, and God, can they shine when they want to. I mean,
volunteers are a dying breed, man, depending on what parts you're at, man.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Well, and the hard thing I hear, you know, there are a number of tracks that have like the paid track operator, or maybe the track operator and the track maintenance guys are paid and everybody else is a volunteer. And I just
hate that. I couldn't handle that.
I think it's a hard model to try to work, because there's always going to be that level of resentment, you know, where you're paid to be here. I'm doing this for free, you know. Where for us across the board, like all the volunteers are getting comped the same. Our board members get comped all the time, whether they're actively working that day or not, because of the amount of work they do behind the scenes. Yeah. So whether their kids actually racing that day or not, like they get comped all the time for being part of the board. But it's what we have to do to run the sport, you know. But if Alissa and I were paid to be the track operators and then asking everybody else to be volunteers, like, I couldn't see it working.
No, not in our situation.
Well, a lot of the nonprofits are like that, though. The track operators they're getting money. They may not be saying they're getting money, but they expect all their volunteers to do shit for free. Don't comp no races, you know. Have you donate water and sodas for the snack bar, and then charge you for the same stuff when you go get one. I mean, there's definitely a difference between you guys and most of the other nonprofits I've seen around.
Yeah, we got two scenarios that people get paid at our track. We pay our coaches for coaching, and when we have track rentals, the person covering the track rental gets paid for covering the track rental. That's it.
How many coaches do you guys have?
So officially certified coaches, Alyssa's a certified head coach, Corey Willard's a certified head coach, and Johnny Goth and Elliot McGrath. So those four So those four are certified head coaches. And then we got a bunch of younger coaches that help out with running our clinics. So whether they're
not all paid.
Whether they're 17, 18, 19 years old on down to, we got some 12 and 13-year-olds.
8-year-old. I mean, helping with certain things.
Junior coaches that come out and help as well, you know. So depending on what type of clinic we're putting on, whether it's a beginner league or community ed or a more advanced skill clinic like jumping manualing, that type of thing. It's not just one coach out there doing it. For a number of years, Mike Amon ran our entire coaching program, and Mike was there every single Thursday doing the clinics. And it's like, that's a lot of work for one person to take on. We're now having a handful of certified coaches. They can take 1 or 2 Thursdays a month and kind of split up that load. Yeah. And like with our beginner leagues, we have kind of a set curriculum. So whether Corey's taking day one or Johnny's taking day one, they all know what they're covering on day one. So whoever else has day 2 or day 3
knows what to do.
They can what was covered the day before.
Right. The process is the same all the way through the doing it.
I tell you what, you know what, you guys are really freaking knocking this show just out of the park, because every time there's something new that we hear that we didn't talk about like 30 minutes ago or an hour ago. You said something. Now you got this community ed aside from your beginner league. Now,
that's another one of the things that I really enjoy. So community ed, the schools around us have, they offer basketball, they offer baseball, they have these like program books that get sent home with kids. And sometimes now I think they're even done online where you can, sign up for underwater basket weaving. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that's in it that we're in is we put our community BMX basics night or whatever. I don't even remember what we call it, but where they can come, they sign up. It's super ridiculously inexpensive, $15, I think, or whatnot. And they come in. So we have these different school districts around that we've partnered with, and they come
You've partnered with school districts.
We can't even advertise it in schools out here.
So, and some of the districts were harder to get in than others,
right?
But it's probably the biggest piece of advice that I give to track operators, like get into the school districts
somehow,
some way. And what some of the school districts argue is you fall outside of our school district. Well, so does the skiing hill, but you have a skiing club,
right?
So exactly, Jimmy. Imagine if other tracks went to the school districts. Rum River's like you guys got draft picks. You're picking Strider riders up from daycare. You're going to school districts. You're just like ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Like there's no salary cap at Rum River, man.
Is to have these community ed nights prior to the beginning of a beginner league, right? So you're going to get them in on your community ed night. They're going to spend 2 hours there. They're going to have so much fun. Their parents are going to see how sweaty and active they are for 2 hours. And then you're going to flash this brochure in front of their face for the beginner league that starts in 3 weeks.
And then throw in a couple of Bring a Friend Tuesdays so that they come back and bring a couple of friends.
Hey, Kim.
Hey, Kim.
Her son was just in our beginner league.
You know what would even be better? If she actually liked doing podcasts.
She
would actually talk a little bit more.
Maybe I'm getting a little better.
I think you're getting really great at it, to tell you the truth. I mean,
like I said, hey, thanks for letting us come on your show.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I'm glad you don't like them. I mean, hell, we would have nothing to talk about. This is awesome. I mean, because you guys are giving us so many ideas out here.
The chat, like you guys can see the chat room. The chat room has nonstop been going on giving you guys props on everything. And keep on like I can't wait to listen to you guys on the 31st on ATB because I'm sure there's going to be a ton of shit that we didn't even talk about in the 2.5 hours you guys have been on.
We're getting all the information right now.
I feel bad that he's the third one,
right?
Call the cafeteria and have them send up some rock stars and monsters. We're going all night.
Right.
Refrigerator. Yeah, but you guys
Rockstar with our sponsorship.
Oh, sorry. Hey, I have there's a refrigerator. I got a couple cases in the refrigerator.
So you got Pepsi, which is part of Rockstar. So what other sponsors do you guys have going through the river?
So when we first opened the building, we had a budget of, I don't even remember, was it like $2,500 to get our kitchen up and running? And $2,500 isn't a lot when you need the 3 stainless steel sink and all this other stuff. And so we kind of reached out to Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Bmx is like the distributor locally. And
I agree, John.
Bmx came with, they were willing to give us the coolers and the slushy machines and the coffee dispenser, like that sort of stuff. So they were kind of an easy one to go with. So along with their stuff then comes, we sell Pepsi products. I mean, it was kind of a no-brainer.
Right. No.
Well, and that's one of the interesting things. Like so many tracks, like they're driving to Sam's Club or Costco or whatever, buying flats of Pepsi or Coke or whatever.
We used to have to fill up so many trucks.
But like, depending on how much business you do, like hook up with a distributor, and like we don't pay for our coffee machine. Like Bmx supplies our coffee machine.
We buy the coffee from them, but
right.
Or we partnered with, or not partnered, but now we don't have to go buy we still do go to, Sam's, or I shouldn't say I do, Danielle. But like Cisco brings in our food order every week. To try to make it a little.
That's gotta be crazy to see a Cisco truck just back into your place and just deliver your food.
Yeah, they deliver, we have lots of freezers and
well, you sell lots of food. You need lots of freezers.
You guys got a hell of a menu.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, you guys are doing things way above and beyond most tracks. It's incredible to me. I mean, we've had snack bars, but it's hot dogs, nachos, and maybe
if that,
maybe I don't know what else, corn dogs or something. But
no,
the ice cream is all the ice cream in packaged from the ice cream man. You buy them in cases, but it's like you got your menu, your theories, your principles. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I always tell Jimmy, we are running a real business. It's just run by volunteers.
Right.
It's a $500,000 business run by volunteers.
Smith Rock in Oregon is asking you guys, how can they connect with you for more information on your community nights and connect with the schools?
Info.
Yep. Email info@Rum River Bmx. So the nice thing too, like we're set up. So like when you email that info@Rum River Bmx, it goes to our entire board. We all see it. So depending on who can answer it,
we all have our lanes, so we all know like this.
Right.
This is a Josh email, or this is a Sam email.
That way too. Like if Alissa or I come or go, like that email doesn't have to be reinvented.
Yeah, you run by committee. I mean, everybody has something to say about the situation.
Yeah. Yep.
And the people who know more about that topic are going to comment. That's
same with like our billing goes to finance at Rum River BMX. So we don't have to
rent the track, rental@rumriverbmx.com.
Yeah.
Killing me, Jimmy. Killing me, dude.
Wow. Yeah. Jimmy's on fire. Jimmy wants you to run for president.
Jimmy wants you guys everywhere. He wants you guys spreading
run for president.
your TO expertise all over the states here.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you got to come up for the Governor's Cup in February.
Don't tempt him. He's
already talking about it. He's like, road trip. I'm like, he rides for me. So I was like,
just had a track. Where's Trinity out of? In Wisconsin. They just organized a huge group of them. They rented the track. Another track rented our track. They opened it up to the first however many riders to come, and they came and spent, was it last Saturday with us, I believe? Yeah.
Really
cool to see that many riders from Wisconsin.
Yeah. Like I said, our riders are there right now.
Get a bus. Let's go.
Yeah, but their bikes are here, but they can rent a bike or borrow a bike, whatever. I mean, can't believe he's not tuning in. Wait till I talk to him tomorrow.
Now, a little bird told me.
On
the cool side of things that you guys like keeping it cool. Is there any truth to some kind of like rollerblading thing that you guys do on the track or something like that?
Oh my God, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. So
it's true.
So the
crashed
ice. Wiggly ball or in bumper cars. They got rollerblading.
I had skateboarders of mine when we
first so if you look up Red Bull crashed ice, it's like extreme downhill ice skating, basically.
Yes, it is. It's so cool. I love it.
They needed a place to
I had been contacted by them a few years back, and they're like, we can roller skate indoors, we can ice skate on flat ground, but we can't really like practice anywhere. Could we try practicing at your facility?
Have you seen that? Red Bull.
And,
Oh, fuck.
So they came out and gave it a whirl on our track. And
they did it a few times.
Yeah, it went okay. There was a couple times when they jumped, their wheels kind of go through our soil tack a little bit. So our track maintenance guy at the time didn't love having them out there, but there's definitely some cool videos out there of the crashed ice people out there on the track.
Cool. My God, let's go!
Wow.
When we first built our track here in our area, I mean, we like I said, I was out there every day, and I had like 3 guys on skateboards show up. Hey, can we ride? I'm like, I'm running everybody. We weren't even open. Can we ride it? I'm like, it's not. This is not for skateboards, bro. But they made it all the way around the track like 3 or 4 times, and I was like, my head was so big. I was so proud of what I had done.
It's so smooth.
On a skateboard on the whole track, I was like, oh, but it's just one of those things like, yeah, go ahead and try it. We'll see what happens.
We did make all the crashed ice people get USA BMX memberships too.
Attaboy, that's fun.
Well, we didn't have you got to run by the rules,
like liability wise, coverage wise,
like,
they all had to be legit on the track. So
that is I did. Like I said, we weren't even open. I just had these guys. They wouldn't quit bugging me every day. They kept come over. That's fine. I said, okay, fine, go ahead. And I thought they wouldn't make it to the first turn. I thought they were going to lip skid. I'm like, hey, you jump the fence. I said, if you wreck, you jump the fence because I'm leaving.
I'm out.
So it'll be on you. Okay, no problem. They made it around the track, and I was like, damn, I did a pretty good job.
Tim in the chat says, yes, put them on a get your shit together, make your track awesome again tour coming to a track near you.
So better than that,
exactly.
Tim, better than that, Tim, I'd recommend for you to come up to us.
Just come play for the weekend.
So you guys could be like BMX's version of Bar Rescue.
So like back before Houston opened up Rockstar, you know, it was originally built for the World's event, you know, originally opened up as a city ran facility.
Right.
Holly from the Sports Commission kind of did a little mini tour from places that USA BMX recommended to go to. And Holly came up and took a lot of the models for how they ran that facility when they opened from us. And she was with us for almost a whole week. And it was like 4 days in before she realized we're all volunteers. Like she thought we were all paid staff. And then all of a sudden she realized, like, what? You guys are all volunteers? Like, you know, she was blown away. And we actually got a really nice letter of recommendation written from,
it's in our trophy cabinet.
From her. It's in our trophy cabinet over by the main entrance.
Spectacular.
That is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't volunteer that much time usually, but at least around here, I'm sorry. And here they don't.
Yeah.
Apparently back there they do. Hey, does Alissa ever come over and volunteer?
Alissa isn't in Minnesota much anymore. She actually was at our track once last year.
Really?
Yeah.
She rode for a day. She was in town.
Tell us she was coming. She just showed up. That's kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
So
that's awesome. I mean, paying respect to people
here a few years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, at least she comes back and visits, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know, you don't expect her to be there all the time because she's obviously living everywhere, but
right.
That's good. That's good to see that she's coming back. And I mean, because she's a pretty good kid.
Oh yeah. Dude.
I mean, I say kid because I'm old.
You're always a kid, right?
Exactly. Once you're
younger than us, they're a kid.
Yeah. Sorry, don't mean to be rude, but that's the way it is.
Right.
Now with like back to like with all the things you guys have going on, do you guys ever have like a random pro just come by and set up like a clinic night or anything, or a clinic a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon or whatever, and then like they get like a handful of kids to sign up?
So my goal,
are you guys too busy? I mean,
we plan ahead. We plan that sort of stuff, but we plan it ahead.
Yeah. So my goal, I like to give riders experiences. You know, I look at it as we got an awesome indoor, you know, facility that these pros can come in, like Berlin there right now with the super camp. Like he could plan months ahead of time to come, and he doesn't have to worry about a rain day or a snowstorm like falling on the track. Like once they get to the facility, they're going to be able to run, you know? And so any pros that come in to do something, like it's going to happen. And so our goal is like once a quarter or so, let's offer our riders something extra, something special. And so whether it's Nick Long coming up, Kate Walls come up a couple of times. Kate's actually coming back out in February. We try to get Barry Nobles to work out, and it just couldn't quite line up with the dates he had available and the dates we had available on our calendar.
Back in the day, we had like Elijah Davis.
Yeah, Elijah Davis has come out to do
it.
Yeah. Donovan Long used to come out back a couple of years back. But we try to just expose, you know, some of those different opportunities.
Greg Hill, you mentioned.
Greg Hill came out and did his deal. So, but just trying to give riders that different perspective, you know, and I always look at it as if you're doing a clinic, if you can learn one thing, if you can learn one new thing out of the clinic, it's worth doing that clinic, you know?
Yes.
And so I reach out, like, I'm not shy. I'll text Connor Fields. I'll be like, hey, you ever come into Minnesota? Like, if you do, hit me up, see if we can do a clinic, you know? Some of them I get responses, some of them I don't, but you know,
you're not afraid to try.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to try, you know.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Spectacular.
That's wow. Yeah, because it's fun. I mean, I have a hard time asking people for anything. Just the way I am. And I know that I'm not they get something out of it. You know, it's benefiting them, not just benefiting me, but to be able to just to reach out and no holds barred and just let them, hey, all you got to do, you have to ask. You have to reach out to get anything done.
Right.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. Like I have
sometimes I feel like in Minnesota, we're kind of forgotten about by like some of the pros. I mean, we're not California, we're not Arizona, we're not Florida, we're not Texas. You know,
well, don't you know? We hear that all the time. We don't forget about you guys.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've been keeping track and been watching your guys' live feeds for a while, man. It's just it's so awesome to have you guys come on the show and Josh reaching out and putting this trifecta between the 3 podcasts is freaking awesome, man.
People are learning a lot.
I didn't think we were going to go 2.5 hours. I'm sorry if it's too long for you guys.
Oh my God, it's almost 11 o'clock.
And she don't like doing.
She don't like doing shows.
No,
she's horrible at it.
It's horrible.
Good criminal.
Absolutely.
But we've had shows go into the 4-hour range. We've had 5-hour shows. And sometimes we've had just hour and a half shows. But the information that just came through off of this, and you know what, I'm totally stoked that the video worked, because if it would have been over the phone, Josh, I honestly, I don't think.
I think this is helpful. I think this is great.
Yeah, I don't
really. You think this is great?
I don't think over the phone this would have worked out.
The little video, because I tune in. I've watched.
Well, I'm just happy you.
Long time watcher, first time
attendee.
Then it's awesome that you like it, because you don't even like doing this kind of thing. So
exactly,
that means we're doing our job.
Yes,
we're bringing people into the podcast world.
Right.
And you guys have actually taught us more than I think any podcast we've done.
We got notes and papers all over this goddamn place.
I've already gone through 2 pages.
Yeah.
So
we might have to do like a monthly segment with you guys.
No, you know what? We're gonna do a summit, Josh.
You guys are totally. So Josh and Alissa, you guys got the link. So, and the way I have it set up now is like, whenever we're live or whatever, and you guys are at the track and something's going on, you could hit the link and it'll show me an icon on how I got it set up. And it would be almost like calling into the show, but you're live feeding in, and I can click on it and be like,
after our Governor's Cup.
Or
from our Governor's Cup.
You guys could tune in from the Governor's Cup and be like, hey, here's our motos. This is what's going on. So and so's over here. They're checking in. We got X amount of motos. This age group right now has X amount of riders. They're the biggest tonight, and all that. You guys are more than welcome to tune in anytime we're live, or if you want to set up another date to come on and do a straight up show, you could do that with that link now. So, and thank you guys so much for that, because it showed that I kind of know what I'm kind of doing now a little bit.
That and it just shows that out here in California, we're not doing it right as far as racing is concerned.
I'm sure you're doing things. You're probably doing a lot right.
No, I don't think you are. I really don't. I've been doing this since
I'm always the optimist.
There's not a lot going right now. I mean, because everybody is like mad at each other. It's
I'm
like,
always
like that.
John Clark from SoCal is saying this information is nuts. Amazing options and opportunities. Train the trainers right here.
Definitely the bee's knees from Jared Walker.
That's it. Oh, Walker, bad.
Because everybody's learning something from you guys.
Yeah, you guys really have. This is coming from Walker, man, from up there at Rusty Bowl, and that's one of our better tracks. They have a great, solid volunteer base up there too. They're on the smaller side of it, but I tell you what, going up there for their state races and announcing with them, it's like home. Yeah, it's just different. I mean, you guys have a program out there that I guess all tracks used to be like that. You guys just kept with it, and out here it's all. Like I said, when I moved back from Georgia, it's all about me. I got to get where I'm going. I don't have time to talk to you. I don't have to wait for you. Okay. It's about me.
Just get back to the basics, right?
Right. Go back to more. It's supposed to be fun. I mean, in our classes, even when I was racing full time, it was like in my 40s, I was like, the guys that come on the stage at the national be bitching and pissing and moaning. Like, bro, if you can't have fun, stay home, because we're not going to get rich. We're not going to get famous. We're not going to be going to the Olympics. None of that shit's happening for us. We're old. They don't give a shit about us.
You're not even going to remember that race in 5 years, right?
Yeah.
You, as old as we're getting, you might not remember it next week. Tomorrow, but that's the mention's the son of a gun. Yeah. But it's one of those things like, if you can't come here and have fun, why are you even here? Right. It's supposed to be fun. And I tell my kid that, my nephew that, and I tell all the kids that we know, dude, if you can't have fun doing this, you're wasting your time. Because this is the best. As far as a kid, when I was a kid, it was the best time of my life.
Right.
Yep.
Every day, ride my bike all over this town. I lived in the same town I grew up in, and it's like, I rode everywhere out here. There was nothing here. My ride to work when I got to be in junior high school, it was like 9 miles to the water park, the water slides. I didn't care. It was great. I got a flat tire. People would pick you up and take you home. Now they're going to drive around and buy you or hit you. One of the two. It's sketchy. That's
for sure.
It's a lot different time in life, but you guys have figured it out how to make it
I feel like I've raised my kids at the track, and I mean, it was an awesome place for them to be. And
right.
Yeah. And if I didn't love what I do, I wouldn't be, I sure wouldn't be sitting here now.
No.
Well, I mean, BMX is so much more than just the race.
Let's get all happy.
You know, when I first started talking to my wife about going and doing nationals with our son, you know, she's like, well, he can't win. He's not good enough to win that yet. And it's like, it's not about that. You know, my son didn't get his first class national win till this last year. Like, he's been in the sport since he's 8 and he's 17 now. And he won his first national on 20
That's awesome.
this last year.
Yeah.
And if you ask him when he looks back at his national career, like, how did you do at Nashville the last time you raced there? He won't have a clue.
But he's going to remember the ice cream we ate.
He'll remember the ice cream place.
He'll
remember that I got a ticket because I paid a bum for parking rather than paying the right machine.
Hey, who hasn't?
Like those are the memories you make in this sport, and the connections you make with the people that you're around, and the camaraderie you get out of it, and stuff like that. You know, like, it's a true community that you get unlike any other sport that's out there. And when we travel to the nationals, like, you always hear the announcers at Grants, like, where's Minnesota at? And it's the loudest crowd in the house. Like, Minnesota cheers for Minnesota. And I'll never forget the first year we were at Grants. My son was an intermediate, and I heard people on the other side of the arena cheering for my kid, and I didn't even know anybody on the other side of the arena. Right. They just knew that there's a Minnesota kid up in that gate, and we're cheering for him. Yes. And it's like, it almost brings a tear to your eye. Like, they're here to support him, you know, and people don't realize how much other people watch your kids, you know, like, they pay attention to the other riders that aren't even theirs, you know, like, when I talk to random families at the track and that I've paid attention to how their kid raced that day and I'm not announcing or something like that, like, it blows their mind away that I caught that. Or a rider comes back from a national and I tell them, hey, that move you did in corner 2 was awesome.
I try to be intentional about that sort of thing.
Yeah. Right? And they're blown away that, like, you watch their race, you know.
I really try to be intentional when I'm at the track to, like, pick up on a few things and make sure to go talk to a few kids at the end.
Yes, right. Absolutely. I mean, I watch it. I mean, I don't go to as many as I used to, but I'll watch them. And especially when I know my kids or my friends' kids or people I know are racing, and I'll text Dad, hey, tell Colton, whoever, great lap. That was awesome. Great move. I'm here. They're at the Grand. I mean, this year at the Grand. I had more text messages on my phone in 4 days than I probably had in 4 weeks because I was texting these kids, hey, way to go. Keep it going. This is awesome. I mean, you watch them because you know them. You know, you watch them grow up. You watch them grow up in the sport. You watch them getting faster and better. And then all of a sudden they're doing really well at a big race. And you can't help but say something. Hear it. They need to hear it. Absolutely. They deserve to hear it.
That's what I tell people. I'll be your number one cheerleader. I will be your number one cheerleader. I don't care who you are. He's a cheerleader.
Yeah. He should have been a girl because he's such a cheerleader for the kids. He takes more kids with him everywhere he goes than anybody I know.
And he's one of our photographers too.
Yeah, and his kid rides for me too. Yes, we just picked this kid up on our team.
He's got the biggest heart.
He takes kids everywhere, and my God, he is a cheerleader. But he will definitely bust your nuts if you ride like shit because whatever, he will definitely let you know. He's 100%, 10% honest. However you do, you're going to know about it. But you know, he takes these kids. They're not his kids. They don't even ride for me. Everybody's kid. I don't care who you ride for. He'll take them. And he's a really good guy. But he's one of those people too. He wants to promote the sport, promote the kids, and make them feel good.
Make them feel good. Yes. I even coach my coaches. You know that at the end of a clinic or at the end of a beginner league day, like, go out there and go tell 5 different kids how awesome they were out there today. Go high five them. You know what? Because that kid's gonna remember that.
Right.
And those parents of those kids eat that stuff up. You know, make it
absolutely.
I do it all the time with the kids I train.
I mean, you walk over to my nephew and tell him he did a great job. I'm like,
look him in the eyes and tell him good job.
I feel pretty good about it. I mean, I did something right. I brought him here. He raced well, and someone saw it and appreciated it.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good. You know, it's not hard. It doesn't cost you anything to be nice.
No, it definitely doesn't.
Not a penny. No. And your stress level is way lower if you're nice.
Sure is.
It's so much easier to be nice. I'm not real good at it, but I try my best.
Hey, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's tuned in tonight and been fire in the chat room, guys.
Yes.
We got a little bit of a time difference going on between our two groups here.
That's right.
So we're gonna we're gonna open up the chat one last time. If anybody has any last minute questions for Alissa and Josh.
They don't need sleep. They only volunteer 7 days a week.
Yeah, they only got to get up in the morning again for go hang out with.
We got to be there tomorrow. I don't even know. I don't even know yet.
You know,
they're volunteers. They got to be there, right? Yeah, it is late.
You know, hey, Josh, Alissa, I want to say thank you guys very, very much. All your volunteers have been in the chat room, and all our people and our regular followers, the new followers that just came on to the show. Thank you guys very much. Josh, Alissa, I'll give you guys the floor to say thank you. Take as much time as you want to, because I tell you what, man, you guys have a great assembly going on over there.
All your sponsors,
very well orchestrated, and I tell you what, man, as soon as we get done with the show, I wouldn't be surprised if your phone starts ringing.
Well, I'll talk first because I know he's going to talk a lot longer than I will.
PJ, what's up, PJ?
Just thank you for having us on your platform this evening. On behalf of everybody at Rum River BMX, this has been a blast. It's been a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, and I appreciate you guys for hosting this.
Thank you for being on here.
Yeah,
her who don't like podcasts.
Appreciate Josh for reaching out and making this happen, and definitely looking forward to watching you guys on the 31st over at ATB. You know, the good group over there with Justin and Melissa
2 weeks.
and beers and stuff. You know, they put on a good show, and really looking forward to seeing the rest, because I'm pretty sure there's stuff that we missed, or there's something that's going to come up between now and in 2 weeks when you guys are on there. Yeah,
let us know.
Everybody in the chat, they'll be seeing it, and they're gonna see you guys are back on, and it's gonna be pretty freaking rad. No, PJ, I won't be in Phoenix this year, brother.
You got anything?
Yeah, just like I said, it's definitely not just Alissa and I. It's a huge team behind the scenes that make it all happen, from our board to our volunteers, everybody that makes the big cog go around, that makes Rum River what it is, and we couldn't do it without everybody doing their part, So same thing. Thanks for having us. And, the people that want to come check us out, hit us up in February for our Governor's Cup event.
Governor's Cup, baby.
And if you don't make it out for that, come on out for the National in June. It's a guaranteed dry race, and we're hoping to have one of the biggest moto counts we've ever had at a National in Minnesota. So
check us out.
Hope to see you out there.
Definitely. Hey, I'll be sharing away, guys. When you guys got any other new stuff going on in events, I'll gladly be sharing the love over on the beer page for you guys.
All righty.
You guys are awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have
Josh,
a great night.
Alissa, you guys have a great night, great weekend, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Sleep
Sounds
fast.
good. Thank you.
Sleep
Alrighty,
fast.
guys.
You got to get up early.
Now, do you know how to get rid of us? Have you figured that part out?
Just sleep fast.
No,
you got to sleep fast. You're not going to get much of it. So way past your
I
bed.
don't know how to shut it off.
It's addicting. See, you're hooked. You're hooked. Now you're going to be calling the board meeting, and you're like, we need to get a laptop and 3 more webcams.
We get a web call for her. We've made it.
Hey,
then you know you've hit it.
They got the
We've
link.
made it.
Even if anybody there, one of the volunteers or any team managers that you guys have there that want to jump on, hit me a message or share the link, and you're more than welcome to it's open door policy over here at the beer page, guys.
We appreciate it.
All right, anytime, guys. You guys have a great night, and thank you again.
Yep. Take care.
Bye now.
All right, guys, have a good one.
So when we're going back,
man, dude, was that just?
Dude, the information level on that right there was that was an overload, because they are so on top of everything they're doing.
That was
absolutely nuts,
man.
That's overload, dude. I wish we had track operators that would.
What's up, Reeves?
We do have.
What's up, everybody? Still in the chat, guys.
I've been bashing this all night long, but we do have operators.
Big shout out to the Rum River crew, everybody that checked in, man. Even with the Super Beat camp going on. Wow,
I've been bashing our track operators all night, kind of, sort of, but we do have operators that want to do it that way.
Yes, we
do.
It's
just hard to get everybody on the same page.
Yes,
it really is. But we have some of the best operators in the world. We just got to get them on the same page and get them to figure out it's, no one's making money in BMX. I'm sorry. No one's going to make money, but most people who are riding the track, they're not in it to make money.
Well, they said they got 10. There's 10 of them. So Rum River plus 9.
Yeah.
And they're all on the same page. We could at least get 5, 6.
Hey, Kirsten Gregonis. How you doing, girl?
Gregonis.
I mean, what they're doing is above and beyond anything we've ever seen around here.
They, Alyssa's given a breakdown of what she's in charge with. Josh was given a breakdown of what he's got going on. The volunteers are in the chat checking in, and they're giving breakdowns of other things that the whole volunteer board of the responsibilities and the committees and.
Hey, Gmo, it's not about working on the track in the monsoon and the rain. I get that. I mean, they're indoor. They have an advantage for their volunteers can work there and not be a big deal. But we can't even get along in the summer. That's where I'm talking about. The wintertime, I get it.
Yeah.
No one's going to go out there and freeze their ass off or get soaking wet all day long and shoveling dirt. Ain't happening. It's not. We all have real jobs, shit to do. You don't want to get sick, whatever.
Well,
but
we don't have any series like this.
No, we don't have shit for series. We can't even do like the old firecracker series. We can't. And I bring that up all the time, but that was so simple. 1 weekend, 5 races, 4 or 5 races, whatever it was, 4-day weekend off. Everybody, school was out, work was out, whatever. And we can't even do shit like that. We can't even have 2 state qualifiers on the same weekend anymore. We can't even play nice.
Can't even have the Tangent Pro
and $6 pulled pork sandwiches, Kenny. Do you know what I'm talking about, bro? Do you hear what I'm talking about?
The pulled pork nachos
and $5 freaking Cold Stone ice cream. I'm like, I am so freaking in.
You just want to get on an airplane and just fill your backpack and eat Cold Stone.
If I'd known that, I'd had Matt take me with him to Wisconsin. It can't be that far.
Here's an ice chest. Here's $100 for some ice cream cups.
Yeah, bring me some damn Cold Stone back and some pulled pork and some whatever else they have. But yeah, they have such a good mentality in the whole thing. I mean, it is absolutely.
We've got shit written down all over the goddamn place.
It's absolutely, it's inspiring.
If you guys can't get in touch with Alyssa and Josh, I'm sure you guys could reach out to Mike and me. We got everything from the show like written down all over the place.
Hey, they could easily run their own sanction with the caliber they would grow and support at any other sanction because they are that rad.
I don't fucking deny it.
From the chat room.
I would not. I don't freaking.
George Vic, rain is rare, but just can't rain the race weekend. I know it happens, but you're right. But these people, I mean, they're indoor. They have an advantage to that. But dude, their mentality, just their outlook on the whole thing is just unbelievable. Actually, just crazy. I mean, if we could just get.
It'll get there, Jared. I mean, hey, Jared, you're doing a fine job, brother. I tip my hat to you all the time, man.
We get 10 tracks that'll work together with the same weekend with each other.
Yeah.
That are close. I mean, like Tulare Hanford used to be.
Well,
Tulare
you know what? Hey, maybe this will get the ball rolling. I mean,
I hope so.
We've seen a handful of other, I mean, Smith Rock from Oregon's in here checking in, and God knows who else was a TO or a volunteer or anything from other tracks. A lot of Arkansas's in here, Cord's in here, Oklahoma's in here, Arizona, we got Nevada in here, New Mexico, everybody and their brother, a real productive show, like honestly. And, hats off to Josh again, reaching out and wanting to do this. And it was like,
we're a long ways away for him to do that. It doesn't but benefit.
And the thing is we're not the interview show.
Right.
But like with everything they got going on, they
weren't even an interview.
They did.
We just let them talk.
Yeah, we just let them give the whole rundown, and there's bits and pieces that we kind of backtrack. It's like, wait, they just said something else. What community ed? What's a community ed?
Right.
You didn't mention that an hour ago. Oh, we have that too.
Yeah, they have a lot.
We go promote at the daycares. Now we're at the school districts, and
I mean, how they promoted the Striders, and daycares and freaking whatever.
And like I said, who knows what the hell they're gonna say on ATB in 2 weeks?
Right.
They got a lot going on from here to then,
and they got plenty of time to think about it.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I mean, that these guys are so. Him and her so far advanced. Not so much. I don't say advanced, but they're actually putting it into action. I mean, everybody knows how to do all this.
They're
stuff,
crossing T's and dotting I's.
They are actually. Yeah, they're very particular and what do you call it?
Meticulous.
Meticulous. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. dot your I's, cross your T's.
You see that? I figured out how to do the video thing, and now my
your vocabulary
just
that's a pretty big word for you, bro.
It's a $5 word, dude.
You're damn right. At least worth a beer.
Yeah, definitely, dude. I tell you what, but yeah, I think maybe we might have to do a show tomorrow to talk about the rest of the stuff we got on tap.
Because we even touched that, did we?
Because we had a big one last weekend, with the Valley Biz boys for shred games and Baco, the mountain bike changes, the both Gaziak brothers getting picked up by Specialized, the salary cap. Hey, and everybody says Specialized is going under. You got the salary cap of Specialized right now with the Gaziaks, Regakin, and then Laurent running the downhill gravity team.
Yeah, it's their story. It's their story, not mine.
Yeah. No. I mean,
oh, Jimmy, we got to talk when you come by tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean,
we got all the sponsors lined up.
Joey the Bomb coming back. A big press release next week involving Huffy.
Are you coming back for Huffy?
Press release for Huffy coming out next Wednesday.
Attaboy. Hey, guy was a beast. No, he's still a beast. No doubt about that.
Huh?
He's still a beast.
Who?
Bomb.
Oh, Joey the Bomb. Yeah. Did you see him doing them roller sprints? Bro, stacked.
He ain't missed a day in the gym in a long time.
Who's drinking the rock stars up there out of freaking Rum River? Joey B, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's a lot of shit going on right now. I mean,
man,
silly season's out of control. Actually, it's dying down right now.
They're starting to shake up a little bit,
But people are falling into place where they need to be.
They're getting there. They're getting there. But
even though I don't work at the track much at BM, but I think it's a bit overkill. Our boys used to ask why all tracks are not concrete and asphalt, so everyone can race any time, especially after the race of Worlds in 2017 as they watched the squeegee off the water off. Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, it's 6 to 1, half dozen the other. Either you like asphalt and slow sack, or you.
Thanks, dirt. Richard. Richard says really cool seeing the people. Hey, you know what? I thought it was cool too. I was it was a process on honestly figuring it out to make it happen. And
now I heard you ask them about making it bigger. I think she said they didn't want that.
Yeah, they were cool. I was gonna try to adjust it and stuff, but no, they were fine with it. Wow, Rush, you missed a whole 3 hours there, Buckaroo.
Yeah, so we ain't recapping.
But yeah, and I worked hard on it because I was like, you know what, dude, we got to figure out a way to video them and not do the phone call, because guarantee if it was a phone call, it wouldn't have been this good.
And George Vic, that's the whole principle of this. It doesn't matter where you're from. I mean, we all in the same weather. Mm-hmm. If you're a volunteer, you push a broom in 110, you water in or squeegee in 70 or 60 or 50.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's just there's no perfect weather. I mean, it doesn't ever happen. I mean, I get what you're saying because I hated doing it, but I still do it.
Yep.
And it happens. But these people have it figured out. They take care of their people that want help, and they take care of them well. And
they got a volunteer rotation.
Right. And you only do the shit that you want to do. You want to be a stager. You want to be
you're not comfortable. They're not going to have you do something you're not comfortable with.
It's a whole nother theory of how the shit should go. You
got coordinators and leaders and
volunteer coordinator
orchestrating.
Dude, I'm in.
Shit.
I'm in for that job.
Dude, is there any job that I could do for them over here?
Volunteer coordinator. You can do it right here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Or the community
ED. The ED guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could be like a I don't know,
there's so much stuff, dude.
Track booster. You could be that.
All right, guys. Hey, we're gonna call. We got plenty of other stuff to talk about, but man, that was a 3 hours. So we're gonna have to hit you guys up with the double. So it's raining over here, so we can't race or anything. So got nothing else better to do. So
when did it rain? It rains in California?
It was raining when I got here.
Was it?
On the way here, man.
I thought it was me being in the shower. Sorry, my bad.
Mr. Clark, the meat mafia of John Clark. Cali could use at least one indoor track modeled after Rum River. Cali weather is some of the best for sure, but at the same time, he would prep racers for the situation. Definitely be a go-to. No, definitely. Later, Woody.
Yeah, I know Jason wanted to get that building right. My old house.
Oh,
When you go into the track, that building on the right.
Yeah.
He thought that would be awesome. I mean, it never happened, but it's big enough.
yeah.
And it's still empty. But
What's up, Brian Robert? We got 3 pumps running wide open right now. Yeah, none of the pumps are running on our track.
Is it flooded today? Did they flood it? No, it didn't.
No,
It didn't rain today.
No, it was closed
it rained
yesterday.
tonight.
It was open today, but with it raining tonight, if it rains any harder, it's probably gonna be closed again tomorrow. So
right. Yeah, it rains once in a while, Braden. Just when we want it to.
Yep.
What's up, Mick?
All right,
Where
guys.
you been all night?
Mick's probably they had a big board meeting. So hey, look out on the upcoming show. We're gonna be at Lodi Cyclery and Brewery.
Yes, we are.
It's a bike shop with a brew bar and
a wine bar.
It's got wine. It's got coffee too. Coffee, wine, and brewskis on tap. And so we're gonna be doing a show at Lodi Cyclery in a couple weeks here, guys. So stay tuned. That's gonna be a good one. We're gonna have a couple hot freaking guests for that damn show. That's for damn sure. Not Timmy.
Maybe we can get Bryce to show up.
Yes, Reeves. We're gonna go again tomorrow, bro. So get your comments and your topics in.
Get your popcorn cooked.
Get it in line with everything else, man.
Yeah. Get your popcorn ready. Go to the store. Get some beer.
Mm-hmm.
Get the big screen set up.
Where? Oh, we'll let you know there, Jimmy. And of course, you can go to Lodi. Hell, you could even come here. You know that door's open, baby.
He'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah. So, guys, hey, have a great rest of your night. We're gonna go chill. We got to go buy some more beer to get ready for tomorrow. So, Big Mick.
We're not in Southern California, Billy, but thank you. We know that.
Hey, Billy from Gate 9. Hey, get back there. Hey, people need their number plates for tomorrow, dude. All right.
Come on, Jimmy. Come on, bro.
Hey, guys. Hey, thank you guys so much for liking and sharing the comments. You guys were on point again. Can't thank you guys enough, man. You guys really tuned it up and
thanks, Rum River.
And Rum River, everybody from Rum River, all across the board, just everybody involved.
Great night.
Just
great show.
Killed the chat room, man.
Loved
you
it.
guys did a hell of a job, and hopefully it all works out for all the other track operators, and hopefully that don't bombard them too quick. You know?
Well, you know what? At least it gives them puts it in the back of their head. You know what? Maybe I need to call these guys and just kind of ask a couple questions. You know, we're not saying everybody's all messed up. We're just saying we need to do a lot of improving. You listen to that podcast we just did. They have it figured out, and we could definitely learn something from these people because they have figured it out and they're doing a great job.
Yeah, definitely.
We're not bashing anybody around here. It's just we have a lot of improvements we can make and be a lot better. So
yeah,
thank you very much, man.
I mean, I'm telling you, dude, if anybody can go and cover what they got to do, I mean, you got to come up with $400,000 to break even in a year. You got 450. You got to come up with $450,000 a year to break even. You know.
Yes. Show me a track in California. You got to even come close to something.
$7,400 a month.
Yeah.
Just to rent the building.
Yes.
So they got
winter heating bill and
the
$7,000 a month for heating in the winter.
They got to be doing something right, man. They got to figure it out, man. And God bless them.
And they're making it happen. It's 2020. So they're doing something right. And 2020, they made it happen that whole year. During COVID, they made it happen that whole year and still paid those bills.
They started it COVID. They took over it. And
they still paid those bills.
And, you know, and when you go and say that Full Tilt's bike shop at Rum River is bigger than the one they have at Grand's, it's pretty fucking big, dude.
They're doing it. They are doing it.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Next thing you know, Nick Valencia's gonna be taking parking lot money over there at Rum River. He's gonna be got that PayPal app.
Hell, that he's gonna buy the Tesla building.
Scan this QR code.
Track.
Wait, hold on.
He's gonna buy Tesla and just building open a new track in there.
Hey guys, everybody, try and enjoy the rest of your Friday. Hope you guys all enjoyed the show. I know we did.
Absolutely.
Everybody at Rum River. I want to say everybody in the chat room enjoyed the show, man. So thank you guys so much. And hey, whatever topics, comments, or whatever you guys want to talk about for tomorrow, get them into me and I'll put them in the notes and we'll have a good time.
Like, subscribe, share. Thank you very much, guys. We couldn't do without you.
We'll sit around, drink beer, and sing Kumbaya.
Make some s'mores. We'll do it by the fire pit tomorrow night.
All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you guys in 24 hours.
All right.
Have a good one, guys.
That was